If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family.
There's no family like my family.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.
After suffering a tough loss to the Falmouth Commodores yesterday, the Harbor Hawks hit the road and stay on the road for the next three as they take on the Chatham Anglers on a gorgeous Tuesday evening on Cape Cod. Alongside Nico Sharp and Michael Kirsting, I'm Jacob Irons. Mickey Doolittle's away on assignment for us today. But guys, when you look at this game, this is a big game for Hyannis. They look to try and rebound after yesterday, a game that had a lot of positives, but there was also, once again, was a loss. Nothing, something they've been saying all that often.
Yeah, no doubt, and shout out to our offense again. We went down early, and once again, that they just showed that we're always in games. It always feels like every time if we're down by one, up by one, up by two, down by two, it doesn't matter. It always feels like we're in the game, and even though we went down early, we came back, tied the game, scrapped some runs, and we just felt like we're in it the entire game. But yeah, just came up just short.
Yeah, that fifth inning was real good. A 4-run fifth inning to tie the game back up, capped by a 2-run shot, mammoth shot by Cam Smith, as well as a 2-run sixth inning to cut the lead to 1. So that's the closest they were able to get. But there's been resiliency all through this season. We've always talked about how they love coming from behind. That is a characteristic in this team that you like not having been able to talk about for quite a few of these last 13, 14 games. They've been in front for the majority of them. But last night is a tough one. But this is a team that comes back all the time. This is not going to be a result that bothers them too much because of their resiliency. They're going to come back here at Veterans Field against a Chatham team that they've played pretty well against this whole entire season, and look to channel that same energy here today.
Looking to channel that here on Veterans Field. This brings up a very large week for these Harbor Hawks. And when you look at, with only under 10 games to play here in the regular season, this is a big week for them. It creates that momentum going into the playoffs. You lose yesterday at Falmouth, you're at the road here on Chatham, and then you have a quick turnaround tomorrow at 11 a.m. start, 3 hours away in Hartford, Connecticut. Big week tonight, and big week for the rest of the remainder of the week for the Harbor Hawks.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple things that I wanted to touch on is it's not always about who's the better team when it comes to playoffs.
Yeah.
It's who's hot, who has the hot hand. It does not matter who has the better players, who did this in the regular season, who did that. It does not matter. That's the beauty of baseball and sports. It's just amazing to see. And so that's why, just like you said, we need to keep that momentum and ride it on into the playoffs.
Absolutely, Nico. And we'll take a look at the scoreboard a little bit later on because we are the latest start on the Cape here tonight. But looking around at other results, if Hyannis knows of them, they know that there's a little bit more of an emphasis on winning this game tonight. The guys who they need to lose, they're all winning in the division here tonight. So despite this being an out-of-division matchup, results elsewhere are not going their way. So the only thing they can do is win themselves and worry about their own game. They've got YD tomorrow, as you mentioned, in Hartford, and they've got Katuitt later on in the week, which could shape up to be a seismic matchup here on Cape Cod late in the season. I said it yesterday. We're in the business end here, so Hyannis has been taking care of business as they were before the All-Star break. A few days off might have knocked them out of their rhythm. They've got a bit of a feel for it now. They should be good to go here tonight against Chatham.
They should be indeed, as they'll take on the Chatham Anglers. But first, we talk, our own Bria Losick talks to Baseball Ops Blake about all that goes on behind the scenes in tracking these players' bats.
From Veterans Field, I'm Bria Losick alongside Blake Buscemi, one of the baseball operations interns and also a Synergy intern as well for the league. So just going to talk to him a little bit about his daily duties and what an intern does in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, so I'm with Synergy and Blast, and I'm also with Hyannis Baseball Ops. But yeah, pregame I'll have these sensors, and I try and get the guys to use them. Captures a bunch of data, bat plane, acceleration, all that stuff. And that's used by major league teams to get a better idea for scouting purposes. And then I also put the cameras up around the field for the guys will go in and look at their own video and stuff.
So just looking at those bat sensors, are there any players that really prefer them, that use them every day?
Yeah, so I can't make the guys use them, but I try and encourage it because more data the better. But Cam Smith uses it, Trey Lipsy uses it, and Alex Lane are three of the guys who more consistently use it. But yeah, I just do as well as I can to encourage them.
And then along with being a Synergy intern, you also do some scouting for the baseball operations department and help along with just day-to-day duties with the team. What have you seen so far from this team?
Yeah, we've been on a roll so far. yesterday was a little bit of a tough loss. Just a few small mistakes kind of cost us. But yeah, overall we've been on a roll. I think it's 10 out of 13, 10.5 out of 13. So yeah, pitching's been great, bullpen's been great, bunch of really big arms out of the pen. So yeah, excited to see what we can do going forward.
One of your jobs is to help with the turnover, guys leaving, and then you have to quickly find someone all around the country to come in. Who's one guy that has come in and just, impressed you right off the bat?
Yeah, we brought in David Case, was a JUCO kid from California. He was one of those guys Johnny Davis, our analytics guy, recommended. We got on the phone with him. He wanted to come out here and pitch, and he's been great for us so far. And it's been so tough to find pitching at this stage. So to come in this late and perform, it's been a plus.
We don't want to look too far ahead, but tomorrow, Dunkin' Donuts Park playing in Hartford, Connecticut. Just got to ask you, what is your go-to Dunkin' order? Because we're going to need it. It's an early start tomorrow.
Yeah, I was just at Dunkin' a few hours ago. Got the medium iced coffee with sugar and cream. Pretty typical, but that's my go-to usually.
I'm more of a iced coffee, oat milk, and hazelnut type of gal, but that'll work. All right, that was Blake Buscemi. You'll see him around the ballpark all over doing his day-to-day stuff. And if you see him, come and ask him. Maybe he'll even, hook you up with a nice bat sensor, get you some data. All right, the pregame show rolls on. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Bria and Blake, for giving us that rundown of all that goes on behind the scenes. You look at Synergy, you look at all the tracking, how much data these teams have at their disposal so that they're able to create lineups that they feel better represent them, and it also helps with their own scouting. The scouts have a little bit more data on them as well, even a little bit more of the nicking gritty and all the down-in stats that to the normal eye doesn't really look to that, but for a scout right there, those are the stats that they really look at about the swing and miss and how their exit velo and their angles, how they're swinging the bat is.
Yeah, no doubt. My old school actually used Synergy as well, and talking to those guys, it just goes so in depth. Just like looking at the screen, it tells you everything you need to know about a hitter, a pitcher, their tendencies. You can look at it from just like It can just show you like lines and everything, or you can actually watch a video of them playing. It's amazing to watch.
We've got Synergy right up here. It tells us everything we need to know. So, I mean, we're going to be finding it as useful as anybody else. So, special thanks to Baseball Ops Blake and the entire Baseball Ops team for talking with Priya, giving us just a little bit of insight of how everything runs down behind the scenes.
Let's lock in for tonight here. It's going to be Jack Sokol that takes the bump for the Chatham Anglers, a guy that they've already seen once. The last time they were here, they hit him around early in that contest, in that fog-ended early game. But if you're at that situation, you have to wonder for Sokol that he's going to have a little bit more of a conversation as we send it to our Dugout show with our own Michael, who's talking to Johnny about pitching.
Hey, everybody, welcome down field level to Veterans Field. Not quite a dugout show, but we're standing close enough to it to call it a dugout show alongside Coach Johnny Davis. Johnny, we're rebounding off a loss last night from Falmouth. It was a very good fight, though the loss column is what shows. You could take a lot of positives away taken into here today against Chatham.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we played well throughout the game. We got punched in the mouth to start. We came back and kind of did that twice. And ultimately, I think we kind of dug ourselves a hole that was probably too deep, and we were short a run. But at the end of the day, I thought we had some competitive at-bats. The pitchers made pitches when they had to. And coming off that 10-1 or however many winning streak we had, I think we did all right.
Yeah, definitely. There are some of those games that are bound to go against you in this wonderful game that we call and love baseball. So you come here to Chatham today, and you say you could consider an inferior opponent sitting at the bottom of the East. What's the game plan here today after a positive night offensively against Falmouth? Do you go out and kind of give the same mentality as last night?
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily look at them like they're inferior to us. With the way that the rosters work and guys coming in and out, we have to take everyone seriously. And I know their lineup has 4 new guys in it tonight who they're probably looking to spark a little bit. So, yeah, we're kind of advanced planning on how we're going to attack those guys and kind of going from there.
Yeah, and just as you said, Coach Johnny Davis, saying that there is no lineup that it's everybody's a force, and it doesn't matter the day. Anybody can come out and beat you. So, again, last night, off of the 2 off days, bit of not exactly what you wanted from the pitching. The offense did pick them up very nicely, but what do you want to see from the pitching today?
Yeah, I mean, even last night, I think there were some positives. I thought that even though a few guys were a couple ticks lower than we liked them velocity-wise, I thought Horn's sinker was moving really well, and I told him if he can get back to where he was pre-break, I think he'll be in really good shape. Cade maybe needed a little bit of rest, but I think he still looked really solid. And then kind of going from there, Sibley gave us a big 2 1/3 out of in relief, and I think that he got kind of unlucky with some batted balls in play. But yeah, I mean, tonight we got Frank on the mound. He's been nails for us all year, so we're hoping we can get another quality start out of him. And we got some big time righties with some juice getting ready to throw tonight. So we got Middleton, Lanthier, and some other guys ready to go. Colleran. So hopefully we get them out there and have a good game.
That's a pretty good game preview right there from Coach Johnny Davis. Coach, thank you so much for joining me. Time for baseball right after this.
Thanks so much, Michael and Johnny Davis, giving you the full rundown, giving you who's going to be pitching today. He's gave you a full pregame recap. Who's going to be coming out of that bullpen with Middleton looking to come out in Lanthier as well, as he touched upon there in response of Hayden Frank, who takes the bump for them today. A very consistent pitcher for the Harbor Hawks. But let's take a look at how they stack up to try and go up against Sokol, like we talked about before the national anthem was sung here at Veterans Field. How they've been able to get with them, and it's very similar to the lineup they last saw him with Zach Earhart leading the way.
Sure thing. Zach Earhart designated hitting tonight, doing the leading off, and Nick Mitchell slides all the way up from the 9-hole to the 2nd spot there, playing center field tonight. The Indiana commit slides all the way up. He was playing 2nd leadoff last night, but now he almost plays as a 3rd leadoff. You'll see what that means as we go down the lineup. Cam Smith staying in his narrow 3rd spot, playing 3rd base out of Florida State. Brandon Ike, the new guy, playing 1st tonight and batting cleanup. We'll see Will Taylor over in right field batting 5th tonight. John Gazdar had a really strong night, reached in all 4 of his appearances last night, hit 6th and plays shortstop. Brody Donay back out as well doing the catching after the half night off last night and playing 7th. Eric Snow back in the lineup. No Elijah Hainline today. He gets the rest today as Snow plays 2nd and bats 8th. And here's your second leadoff guy right here as Trey Lipsy back in the lineup after a rest day last night. He plays left. And we talk about the lineup structure so much, guys. How about Lipsy, Earhart, and Mitchell as your 9, 1, and 2 guys stacking up for Cam Smith and Brandon Ike in the 3 and 4? What a lineup. Should be a fun one tonight.
Very good lineup, and you talk about it. There's a very poignant lineup construction that skipper Eric Beatty has with this lineup.
Yeah, you talk about it, and it just feels like the bottom of the lineup just does so well and getting runners on for the top of the lineup to be able to produce and manufacture runs.
Jack Sokol steps onto the bump, and Zach Earhart steadies. Sokol sets and fires for a pitch in the upper part of the zone on the outer part of the plate for the first strike today of today's contest already ahead. Sokol kicks and fires. Pitch in on the inner part of the plate for an 0-2 count against Zach Earhart, the designated hitter out of Oklahoma State. Sokol kicks and fires. High chopper back up the middle. Fabian off to his right side. Fields and fires in time to Will Hoyt for the 4-3 putout.
Wow, very quick AB there. Sokol really working quickly and just hit fastball low in the zone, and then threw a little bender in there. I mean, that was a quick AB. He works really quickly, and something we talk about all the time is he's definitely a guy who's used the pitch clock.
Sokol steadies up as Nick Mitchell settles into the box. The righty kicks and fires to the lefty on the outer part of the plate for a strike.
Just saw Fabian and Will Hoyt at 2nd and 1st. Forsyth and Kent make up the left side of the infield for Chatham.
0-1 delivery down in the dirt, skipping in front of Melendez, the battery partner of Sokol.
Schubert, McDonald, and Donahue make up the outfield left to right, and Melendez will do the pitching for Jack Sokol today, the catching for Jack Sokol today.
1-1, flown into left field, taking 3 steps back into the middle of left field. Schubert positions himself under it for the second out here early already.
Yeah, Sokol's working really quickly, going right after these hitters. I mean, wasting no time, attacking early with that fastball, keeping it low in the zone. Already structuring that he's going to keep it low in the zone and not let them elevate any pitches.
Sokol kicks and fires to Cam Smith as he fouls it away into the T-ball field here at Veterans Park, just behind the Chatham Rec Department.
The punch of Mitchell and Smith was combined is how the first run of last game was scored.
As Smith lines it into center field, dropping it in front of McDonald. He gets aboard, and Cam's crew, who has been out here for the past week, continues to be seeing what they like out of the man himself, all poignantly wearing Cam's crew shirts, and they have their own merchandise as he gets on with 2 away early here in this top of the first.
And he scorched that as well, right back where it came from, hot off the bat. He had an RBI single against Sokol last time out.
Brandon Ike looks at a strike for the righty-on-righty matchup from VCU, a first baseman.
Yeah, Smith picking up exactly where he left off on the game from July 1st.
Sokol fires in. He swings and fouls it away. Ike does. He's behind in the count 0-2 with Smith aboard at first base after a 2-out hit. The 0-2 delivery upstairs, forcing Ike to dance away from the plate, 1-2. Sokol gets the signs from Melendez, kicks and fires on the outer part of the plate for a 2-2 count to Ike, the first baseman. Had the night off yesterday after already playing earlier this summer for the Tri-City Chili Peppers of the Coastal Plain League. Ike knuckles it foul over the netting. Foul to keep the 2-2 alive.
I love the way Sokol's attacking these hitters. You know, he's really trying not to show his pitch arsenal early in the game. You know, something that after watching that last game, he showed all of his pitches too quickly, and now he seems to be only showing fastballs here.
2-2, flown into right field. Donahue running back to it. Wynn takes it a little bit, misread it off the sun, bouncing up against the wall. Getting the round around home as the throw comes in. Smith comes in standing and scoring. Ike's over to second. Donahue misread it. Didn't move. Thought he had a clear grab of it. lost it in the sun, and it kept pushing out. It one-hopped the wall in right field, and with Smith's speed, he's able to come around and score. Harbor Hawks on the board first, 1-0 here in the top of the first with 2 away.
What a strange play. It seemed like Donahue was settled under it, and there's just a little spot of sun out there in right field, and it seemed like it got caught up in that. And Cam Smith running hard with 2 away. He's going to score on that every time with that sneaky speed of his, and that's a response from Ike saying, yeah, shouldn't have sat me yesterday. I'm right back in the lineup.
Pitch misses high to Will Taylor, the right fielder, with a runner in scoring position in Brandon Ike, who got the double on the scoring position. Sokol kicks and fires to the Clemson Tiger, who looks at a strike on the middle third of the plate. 1-1.
Last thing about that fly ball is you don't see that happen too many times on your home turf. Usually you know how much the ball carries and usually get a good jump on it. So, yeah, very interesting thing to happen with Donahue out there.
1-1 is flown into the infield, pushing himself back, and Fabian on the lip of the center field grass makes the grab. Brandon Ike's left stranded at second, but Harbor Hawks respond early for a run with Cam Smith coming around on the double. We go to the bottom of the first. Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network from Chatham, Massachusetts.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
After a half inning of play, Hayden Frank and the Harbor Hawks will come out on defense with already a run in their pocket. Hayden Frank from Lipscomb gets to start, like we talked about, a consistent guy, a guy that already has a bunch of innings, 23 1/3 innings pitched already. This is a guy, like we talked about, Eric Lexus, the pitching coach, likes to have, has consistency. You know what you're going to get out of Frank tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, and we know what we're going to get out of him every night. It's a strong start. Not only a strong start, he almost gives you more than what you ask for. 3 innings, we always talk about, is that magic number. That's what we ask for here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, to string innings together. The thirds, the first, middle, and last third of the game is what you want strung together. Frank gives you 4 innings almost every time. And even if he stretches it out, we could even see him get 5 in a certain point if he's in a real groove, and he could even earn himself a decision, one that he really, really deserves. And the lineup that will face him tonight for Chatham goes Bryce Martin Grudzelanek. I figured out how to pronounce that name since the last time we saw them. He leads off and is the designated hitter today. Caden Kent is the third baseman. The son of Jeff Kent bats second. Lane Forsythe, the shortstop, bats third. And Nolan Schubert, the left fielder out of Oklahoma State, good friends with Zach Earhart, bats cleanup. Zach McDonald, the center fielder, bats fifth. Kyson Donahue, the right fielder, bats sixth.
Frank deals a 0-0 pitch to Mutzing Martin Grudzelanek. Upstairs 1-0.
And then Melendez, Wilhoit, and Fabian, the catcher, first baseman, and second baseman, respectively, round out the Chatham order to face Hayden Frank tonight.
Frank kicks and fires to Martin Grudzelanek. Inside 2-0. He's behind in the count early. Grudzelanek from University of Southern California, batting .236 coming into this one for the Anglers. Out of the East Division in this cross-division matchup tonight. Grudzelanek pulls that foul into foul territory, down the right field line, just out of the reach of Brandon Ike as it drops in the grass for a 2-1 count now. Narrow foul territory compared to some of the other parks we see, especially a little in comparison to McKeon Park. Very little more knit, as this stadium is right in the heart of Chatham, Massachusetts. Talk about the firehouse just out in the distance here with the berm working from right field all the way over to a little bit of center field, majority of it.
That firehouse playing a huge role last game. Got to keep an eye on it. If we can still see it, we will play.
2-1. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 3-1 on the leadoff man for the Anglers.
Yeah, all the way back on July 1st, it's that firehouse out in right field that is our grounds rules.
3-1 delivery. Grudzelanic lines it foul into the fencing down the left field line. We'll do it again.
And if we can see, as you just said, Nico, you see that firehouse out in right field. As soon as it goes away due to fog that is common here in Chatham, that's your cue to say, okay, we're going to give a 20-minute fog delay, see what goes on after that.
Full count delivery from Hanks. Gets Grudzelanic swinging and missing. As he goes around for the first out. Frank battles back after allowing 2 straight balls, fires back to get a strikeout.
I think you can attest to this, Nico, that it is tough for certain pitchers to be able to find their release point in that first inning. And Frank seemed to be doing that in that first at bat, but then he kicks it into gear a little bit, finds a pitcher that he knows can work well so far, and comes out back really well against Martin Grudzelanic right there.
Frank kicks and fires to the lefty Caden Kent as he looks at a strike. The third baseman today.
But yeah, no doubt you mentioned it. I mean, a lot of those warm-up pitches, it's just a big feel thing. You know, how high is the mound? What does all that look like?
Franks delivers the 0-1, tipped off of Kent's own ankle braces. He's Ginger out of the box, taking a couple steps away. Gives us time to let you know who the umpires are today. David Gabar behind home plate. Jacob Ashworth at first base today, and Drew Hoagland at third base, rounding today's umpiring crew from United Collegiate Umpires.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be all right, but no shin guard.
Yeah.
Right off the top of the foot looked like that. That's never fun, I can tell you. Especially with no shin guard to protect you. Hate to see it. Hate to see it. Been there. Been there. Unfortunate.
He settles back into the box. The 0-2 delivery from Frank goes upstairs with the fastball to get Kent swinging and missing. 2 away here in the bottom of the first.
That's a great fastball up and in the zone. You know that ball just looks like a beach ball going up in the zone. So he goes up and tries to get it, and that ball just keeps on rising. That's a great. I love watching Hayden Frank use his arsenal. He's a fastball, curveball guy. Will throw the changeup. Very rarely will throw the slider, but he can just throw any of those pitches in any counts and just be manipulative all game.
Lane Forsythe settles into the box as he looks at a ball away into the other batter's box. 1-0.
Eyes eat first, sir, right?
Oh, yes.
You tell me better than anybody else. That's exactly what he used that fastball to do. Went up in the zone, called Kent chasing.
1-0 fouled away, out of play down by the playscape here at Veterans Park. 1-1.
Eyes do eat first, I'll tell you what. As a hitter, that ball looks like you're about to put it 450 down the line and just swing right through it.
1-1. Breaking ball off the plate, 2-1. Lane Forsythe out of Mississippi State. On the move, though, transferring to Oklahoma State. Going to soon be teammates with Zach Earhart, the designated hitter for the Harbor Hawks today. Pitch comes in and misses wide at 90 miles an hour for a 3-1 count to Forsythe.
I do find it interesting, though. It seems like all the pitchers go to that high fastball. The hitters can't seem to touch it, even if they know it's coming. It's become such a reliable pitch throughout all levels of baseball.
3-1 with 2 away. Forsythe rips that one into right center field. Mitchell ranges over at the 357 mark, making the play and making the catch a couple steps away from the track. Anglers go down 1-2-3. Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 after 1.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
After one, Hyannis already brought in a run on the double of Brandon Ike. Cam Smith came around to score. It'll be Gazdar, Donay, and Snow to lead things off here in the top of the second. And what a response from the Harbor Hawks. You look at it once again. Last night doesn't go your way, but first inning, already have a run in your pocket.
Also, sometimes better to be lucky than good. Might have been a bit fortunate out in right field with Donahue misreading the ball out there, but that's what you do. Put the ball in play. Anything can happen, and then we saw it right there. I'll tell you right after what me and Nico were just talking about.
0-0 pitch from Sokol to Gazdar. Misses below his knees on the inner part of the plate, 1-0.
Part of the response is on the defensive end, too. Nick Mitchell had no business catching that ball out in center.
1-0 from Sokol, grounded. Up over to Fabian, bobbles it for a quick second. Gazdar's speed's going to force him to make a play. And finally, Fabian gets it over to Wilhoit in time to get the out.
Yeah, good play to rebound from Fabian. And back to the defensive Mitchell. It's just, we just said how on lock center field has been all season long. Mitchell has such a good first step to that ball in center field to be able to just make a standing catch. So most guys are going to have to lay out for that. Mitchell's closing speed makes it look easy.
Brody Donay settles into the box against Sokol as he looks at a strike in the lower third of the zone on the middle part, 0-1.
Yeah, such a tough play, though, really, by Mitchell. I mean, I don't think the viewers going to understand of how great of a jump he got and how he was able to lock on that ball and be able to make the play look easy. But, again, that ball fading to right center, such a tough play.
0-1 misses off the plate, moving the count to 1-1. Sokol kicks and fires to Donay. As he lines that one down into left field, sending Schubert racing to the corner. Rounding first and going in, sliding to second will be Donay, coming in safely. Tag applied by Forsythe, just not in time. The Lexi 6'5" catcher gets into second base with the double.
That's a great at-bat from Donay. We've seen him go hacking on the first pitch so often. He takes one. Saw it on the outside corner. Jeter at-bat right there, though it's the first pitch. Sees it well, and then all you have to do is wait for another at that point. He takes another one that he doesn't like, and then just has that slider, and he is all over it. Seeing a strike for Brody Donay is going to be so big to work those at-bats. Sees one there, and sees the fruits of his labor ending up in scoring position as well.
0-0 pitch to Snow, chopped over to the left side of the infield, fired in time to Wilhoit. To get out Eric Snow from the University of South Florida on the move was Donay as he goes from second to third. Runner 90 feet away for Trey Lipsy to try and bring in with two away.
Yeah, good base running by Donay. That ball hit kind of right at him. It was a chopper right at him, but he gets a good break, and he understands that with that choppy swing right there that he was going to get third easily. Now we have a runner 90 feet away.
The kick from Sokol. Lipsy squares around to bunt, but pulls it back on the 90-mile-an-hour fastball inside and down low in the zone, 1-0.
And this is the guy you want up, too, at Lipsy. Having a night off, was involved in quite a bit before the All-Star break. 346 through his last 10 as well. It would be his 10th hit in his last 10 should he get another one here.
1-0, flown into center field. Dropping back to the track is McDonald. Crouches under it to make the grab. Donay stranded at third and can't come around to score. Harbor Hawks stay leading by 1 going into the bottom of the second.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like my inside voice? Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 after 1.5. Frank back out for second inning of work. Donay, great piece hitting, just left stranded at third base after some poignant manufacturing.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we've seen a lot of pitchers like to attack him with off-speed early. You know, he has a big swing, so obviously he's going to want that early fastball. So we see him kind of swing over those early pitch off-speed. But that time, he just stayed back, kept his weight back, and caught that off-speed pitch out front, sent it down the line. Beautiful swing.
And when he works those at-bats more, he's going to work into counts where they're going to throw him that fastball. So if he just keeps taking into a count that works in his favor, it's going to work out a lot more favorably for him. And that was one right there. Even though he didn't get the fastball, he was all over that off-speed pitch and sent a bullet down the left field line.
Nolan Schubert, the lefty, positions his gloves and steps into the box to take on Hayden Frank for his first time here in the bottom of the second. The lefty as well kicks and fires at a pitch missing down low, right in the zone, but low, 1-0. Frank delivers the 1-0, swing and a miss, fouled back, hitting off of the umpire's shin guard. 1-1. Chatham in a very do-or-die situation here, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. The 1-1 delivery, swung on and missed, breaking ball at 77 miles an hour. Below the zone, 1-2.
Yeah, you mentioned it. When you look at Chatham right now, currently sitting last in the East, you know, they know they want to win as they make this final playoff push.
1-2, off speed at 82. Has Schubert swinging and missing for the first out of the bottom half of the second.
Yeah, whenever you watch Frank, he likes to pitch backwards sometimes. You know, he started him off with off speed and then backed up with fastballs and then went back to the off speed, you know. So that's just so hard for a hitter to really have, because you know that Frank can throw any of those pitches at any moment.
0-0 pitch to McDonald, misses wide. If you look at the East, YD able to clinch a playoff spot yesterday as they are clearly in the playoffs for the East. Orleans in second as McDonald fouls it away to even the count at 1 apiece. The center fielder for the Anglers. Then you have Harwich behind him, Brewster, and Chatham's trailing Brewster by 8. They have a pivotal game tomorrow, Chatham does, against Brewster in that head-to-head. They've got another one coming up as the 1-1 misses high and upstairs on the outer part of the plate, 2-1, and those head-to-heads are huge if they can grab them.
Yeah, I mean, they're huge, especially with things being so close in the race. You know, it's only going to be a one-game difference between these teams.
2-1 lined on the ground between Smith and Gazdar. McDonald gets aboard for the Anglers' first hit of today's contest.
You know, with these standings being where they are, like you mentioned, Chatham feel like they have their backs against the wall a little bit. And there's nothing more dangerous than a team who feels like they have nothing to lose. You know, when their backs are against the wall, they know they need to win. They're going to do anything possible to scrap every single win they can.
And they're a game back right now of Brewster as they have a makeup coming up with Orleans. So they're able to try and get not just the two head-to-heads up in the upcoming days, but also you get to go up against a game. As the 0-0 pitch on Donahue is fouled away up over the press box here at Veterans Field.
Now, you win out in those games, Brewster loses out, 2 of which you have control over. That's 6 points right there, and they're 8 points behind Brewster right now, so it almost does feel a bit attainable should Chatham take some results away from those games.
0-1, swing and a miss by Donahue on the breaking ball at 76 miles an hour below the zone. 0-2, Frank ahead.
Frank is so tough on lefties.
Yeah.
That curveball that just starts right on his shoulder, and that one fell all the way into the dirt. Not much you can do there. Disgusting pitch to get ahead 0-2.
0-2. Franks kicks and delivers. In between Smith and Gazdar again. Donahue's aboard. Station to station, McDonald moves to second. 1 away still here in the bottom of the second.
Hayden just missed it by that much. He was trying to, because like we talked about, he went that curveball right the pitch before, tried to elevate that fastball up and in, but he was just able to get his hands in, scrap a base hit.
And that's where I was saying earlier about how that pitch is a bit predictable in that situation. So elevating that a little bit more makes it even tougher to hit, but just a bit too much out in the zone on that pitch.
Melendez fouls the first pitch he sees directly back behind home plate. 0-1. Frank ahead on Melendez. Melendez out of the University of Pittsburgh. Teammates with Sokol. It's the 0-1. In for a strike. on the outer third of the plate. 0-2. Clouds start to file in here on a 7 o'clock pitch today. 0-2, swing and a miss. Melendez out in front of the 83-mile-an-hour off speed for the second out.
Yeah, pull the string out front of him there. Melendez just seemed to be on his front foot a little bit, trying to extend his hands, but just great off-speed pitch right there.
And great awareness from Frank to be able to realize that he's out on that front foot and completely exploit it. Use it against Melendez there to pick up his 4th strikeout, all swinging on the day so far through just 2 innings.
Trace Wilhoit looks at a ball. 1-0. Wilhoit, first baseman, has runners on second and first in McDonald and Donahue, respectively. The 1-0 kick from Frank fouled away up into the netting, tying the count at 1 apiece. Frank making his 5th start of the summer. And Harbor Hawks blue and orange. Wilhoit curves that one foul into the Harbor Hawks bullpen down the right field line, 1-2.
Very inside-out swing there by Wilhoit. He sees the gap. John's pulled over into the 6-hole just a little bit. Eric Snow covering the man at second base. Leaves a big gap between first and second. Had a very inside-out swing trying to put in that right down into second base.
Frank looks back McDonald and now kicks and fires. A ball in the dirt. Donate keeps it in front of him. Told McDonald sturdy, only a couple feet away from second base.
The 2s are hot, fellas. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and 2 on. 2s are super hot in this situation.
With 2 hits in the inning.
In the bottom of the second.
Oh.
Frank delivers. It's a 91-mile-an-hour fastball upstairs to get Wilhoit swinging and missing. McDonald and Donahue left stranded. Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 after 2.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de batería, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
Be a bad mother.
1-0, Hyannis leading after 2. Big opportunity here for Hyannis to try and go out and get a win tonight if they could, to try and set themselves up, who pointedly play at Dunkin' Donuts Park in the Nutmeg State, Hartford, the AA affiliate of the Colorado Rockies tomorrow. A little bit of an early start, 11 a.m. The Harbor Hawks Baseball Network will have you covered tomorrow as we have the exclusive video live stream of that game with Sokol coming back out for his 3rd inning of work.
Well, I'm so excited for that. It's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow.
Lineup flips over for the Harbor Hawks as Earhart looks at his first pitch in the dirt. 1-0 from Sokol for his 2nd time up.
This is a good start so far from Hyannis, being able to respond from yesterday.
1-0 upstairs. Earhart flinches away from the plate. 2-0.
They've already turned their lineup over going into the 3rd inning, even scoring a run in that 1st. Perhaps a little bit of a fire under them after losing last night, despite all the runs they scored.
2-0 in for strike on Earhart as he looks at it down the heart of the plate on the lower part end of it. 2-1. Kicks and fires. Misses away, 3-1.
And this is where it all turned around for Zach Earhart. Whenever he was on that stretch at the beginning of the year, this is where he found a way on base and now able to hit 252 on a great stretch since then.
3-1, fouled away, up over the netting, and
what
with
a
a
catch.
fan making a barehanded grab, giving it to his son, who's overzealous to be getting a foul ball. For the stars of tomorrow shine today. Full count. Pitch. And the inner part of the plate. Earhart thought it was ball 4, nipping the zone. Earhart goes down looking for the first out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, front door off-speed pitch. Earhart thought it would miss a bit inside, but looked pretty close. I thought I may have caught that inner third part of the plate, but that's a great pitch there by Sokol.
0-0 pitch to Mitchell. Misses inside for ball. The 1-0 to Mitchell off the plate. 2-0.
I mean, we can barely get our thoughts in the way that Sokol is working. Maybe somebody told him we had to get up early tomorrow morning because he is really, really working. He's not even letting that pitch count get to 10 before he's moving.
The 2-0. Mitchell pops it a mile into the air on the right side of the infield. Wilhoit calls off Fabian as he positions himself under it at the traditional second base position for the second out here in the top of the third.
Yeah, that looked like a major league pop-up right there. Just got straight under it. That ball had some hang time on it.
Sounds like a good saying my grandfather would say. Major league pop-up right there. Went a mile into the air, no distance to it, as Cam Smith lines it foul and out of play, hooking down the right field line. Smith came around to score in the first off the single with 2 away. 0-1 to Smith. Misses low, 1-1. Don't worry, Cam's crew's hitting the road tomorrow as well. They're making the 3-hour drive to Dunkin' Donuts Park. The 1-0 in for a strike, now moving the count to 1-2.
I mean, Cam's crew's just been amazing. It does not
Yeah.
it does not seem like they're going anywhere. I
No.
mean, they've been to every single event, home run derby, home run contest, as well as the All-Star game. I mean, they're just everywhere.
1-2, fouled away down into the Anglers' dugout. And my family saw them at Anejo restaurant yesterday before the Falmouth game. My
There we
family was
go.
up, so they were able to see them. The 1-2 off the plate, evening the count at 2 apiece. They literally are everywhere.
And I mean, how important are the families, too, being
Yes.
able to show out as well as hosting here, those on Cape Cod?
2-2, grounded up over to Kent, his counterpart at third base. Smith unable to beat it down the line as Kent fires to Wilhoit in time for the 5-3 putout. Through 2.5, Hyannis still leading 1-0.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you on the club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
Welcome you back to Veterans Field here in Chatham, Massachusetts, as the Harbor Hawks take on an Eastern Division foe in the Chatham Anglers. Harbor Hawks leading 1-0 through 2.5. Hayden Frank back out for another inning of work. You talk about it, Michael, that third inning so key. Can he get through it? Right now only sporting a 33 pitch count so far, so has a little bit of wiggle room if they even want to try and extend him past this third, how quickly, depending on how he gets through this half inning.
You talked about his dependability after this.
It's 0-0 pitch to Fabian. is flown into left field. Lipsy runs onto it, 3 steps in, and makes the grab for the first out.
On the first pitch as well, we talked about his dependability and how you know what we're going to get out of him in every start. This is easy 4 innings for him. If he can go through this inning smoothly, this is just light work for him. If he even goes this and next inning close, he could even get in a 5th inning there, potentially get himself a decision.
However, he turns the lineup back over here for Martin Grudzelanek, who shows bunt, pulls away, ball high, up out of the zone, 1-0 from the Trojan.
And it's the second time through the order now, so he's going to be still a bit more careful. And working through the second time, he seems to have been in control through the first, just has to channel that same energy.
1-0 just into the zone on Martin Grudzelanek for strike. Designated hitter struck out swinging back in the first to lead things off for the Anglers. A 1-1 pitch, swung around and missed. 1-2 on the 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the inner part of the zone.
And when you have that pitch working, it doesn't matter about all these averages, how many times the lineup sees you. That's unhittable. So making those pitches work as Frank has is going to be important this second and third time through the lineup.
1-2 kicks and fires. High chopper directly back up the middle. Gazdar coming on, fielding it, throwing, not going to be in time. Martin Grudzelanek able to beat it down the line. Gazdar had to come in. It got caught up in the infield grass. Slow roller came out hot on the hop over Frank, but then as soon as it hit grass, died right then on contact. Gazdar making it a play, but Martin Grudzelanek's speed allows him to get aboard safely at first.
Yeah, we've seen how good John's hands are, and he did everything he could. He's just smooth up the middle. He did everything he could, put the ball on the money, still beat it out. Nothing much you can do there.
Caden Kent settles into the box, the third baseman for the Anglers, with 1 away here in the third. First pitch he sees in his second at-bat, misses away, 1-0.
Yeah, on those ground balls that do get over the pitcher, that's the danger zone there. When it kicks and dies in that grass, you're always a bit concerned, and that could be one where, in that case, Martin Grudzelanek beats it out.
Pop fly into foul territory. Donay loses the mask. Calls off Smith. 3 steps away from the chalk on our third base side. Makes the catch to retire the second out here in the third.
Something that we haven't covered too much on Frank yet is how well he holds on base runners. A left-handed pitcher who has a straight leg lift, keeps the runner honest. It seems like more times than not that runner on first is going to have that one-way lead. If you watch him here, he's going to lift his leg, and that runner's going to take a quick jab step back to first base before taking his secondary.
Frank fires to Forsyth for the first time today in for strike.
And it's even more dangerous when you have that cannon of an arm with Brody Donay behind the plate. So even with Frank holding these guys on, tough to get a good jump, you've got a huge arm behind the plate and Donay to nab him if they do go.
0-1 misses away, 1-1 as he pops up out of his squat, Donay does, to look back the runner. However, these are 2 teams they're not going to hear stolen bases all that much for. It's 24 for Chatham, 33 for the Harbor Hawks as the 1-1 comes in, breaking ball at the heart of the plate below, 2-1. So very minimal stealing team. It has to be a good pitch and it has to be a poignant pitch, and they have to be able to get the read for both these teams to try and be forceful on the bases to try and grab a bag. The 2-1 kicks and fires from Frank, just hitting the corner of the zone on the outer part of the plate to tie the count at 2.
Yeah, the only chance you have to run Frank here is going on first move because he's not a slide step guy. He's always a straight-up leg lift guy.
2-2. Fired in, misses low, loading the count full on Forsyth, who flew out to Mitchell on the great track back in the first. The payoff delivery, they'll check down. Did he say he went? David Gabar, the home plate umpire, checks with Jacob Ashworth, the first base. He say he went around for the strikeout. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4 inning for Hayden Frank. We push on to the fourth. Hyannis leading 1-0. But before then, we send it to our Miss Bria Losick.
Why, thank you very much, Mr. Jacob Irons. It's always good to be on.
Oh, good to have you on as always, Miss Bria.
Well, if you have been around the ballpark, which I know you have, Mr. Irons,
I
but
have.
Just in general, if you've been around, you've definitely seen the Beatty boys running around. That's Jackson and Tate. And the little one, Tate, is always on the field, you know, fielding ground balls during BP, and just likes to be around his dad and all the players. And his mom, Molly, actually shared something with me today that the glove that he wears every day is actually Riku Nishida's from last year. Riku gave him that glove, and Tate has worn it for every single one of his tournaments that he's played in over the past year. How special is that? I know. And so then I asked Molly too, I said, so who on this year's Hawks team do you think is making an impact on your two boys? And she said right away that they love Cam Smith, of course, and Brody Donay. They just can't get enough of being around them. So back to you guys.
What a great story. You talk about the lasting impact the coaches' kids can have on their own players, and that right there. Tate keeping a part of last year's team, a stellar year, where his own father won the Mike Curran 2022 Manager of the Year award. Thank you so much, Bria. Always appreciate your in-depth reports from the dugout and getting some family help.
I always love being on, Jacob.
As we push on here to the top of the fourth, as it's a swing and a miss.
But that's just something we love to see. You can see, like, 'cause you always see these kids on the field playing blitz ball with the players. I mean, the connection that they're building is just so strong. I mean, it's something you love to see.
Ball misses low on Brandon Ike to tie the count at 1 apiece. I was playing ground balls with Tate today. The 1-1 lined by Ike, curving into Donahue's glove. So he's able to make the grab in right field for the first out here in the top of the fourth.
I mean, but what about that? We were just talking about how big of an impact the families have here on the Cape. What about the players, too? Just making a lasting impact with whatever they do. Riku, a great guy, with having a great season as well. What a gesture by him. I didn't know that. That's why we've got Bria Lasik on here, to be telling us all these kinds of things. And that's one of the cooler things I've heard all season long.
Will Taylor stands in for the 0-0 pitch. He scorches that one into left field. Schubert will only be able to watch it drop in front of him as Taylor gets aboard with a single with one away here in the top of the fourth.
That was a good swing there by Taylor. Looked like it was just a bit of a jam shot for a second. I mean, that was a beautiful, smooth swing, went pull side, and that ball just kind of just flopped right in front of the left fielder, Schubert.
John Gazdar comes off the on-deck circle to settle into the box. Megan Nishida being drafted by the White Sox in this past draft. So maybe, depending on it, that club might be worth a couple more things in a couple of years as the 0-0 pitch misses away 1-0. But you have to imagine memories will never be able to pay what that has for that lasting relationship between the two of them from last year. As Sokol checks back Taylor as he gets in there just with the fingertips into first base. A great tag applied by Wilhoit, but the speed and athleticism of Taylor gets him back to first and safely. The 1-0 in the dirt. Losing it is Melendez. It only went a couple feet behind him. He's able to look confident to hold Taylor on at first.
That was such a good pickoff by Sokol. All he's looking for is when he's in a stretch, he's looking to see when his feet cross, and when he takes that first step, he does a quick pick and almost caught Taylor stranded there.
2-0. Misses inside. 3-0. The 3-0 pitch off the plate on the outer part of the zone against the righty Gazdar. He walks to get 2 on here in the top of the fourth.
And this brings up Brody Donay. We were just talking about how he needs to have those better at-bats where he's just looking at a few more pitches, making himself and taking himself into those counts where he could expect a fastball. So this is a big at-bat here in this game for Hyannis to stretch their lead. This is a guy they want up as well.
Sokol kicks and fires to the righty Donay. That one catches the chalk. 1-0.
And that's another first pitch off speed to Brody Donay. And you can just tell his pitch recognition is getting so much better. It's improving game by game.
The 1-0 from Sokol in below the knees of Donay. And now with 6 straight balls, this is going to elicit a conversation from Melendez.
And that's good recognition by Donay. Just seeing Gazdar's at bat, there wasn't really a pitch too close. And Donay, at that point, when you see 4 straight balls from the batter before, you're going to be waiting until you see a strike. And unless you know that that pitch is going to be a center cut fastball, he's not going to be taking anything. So he's going to be taking everything, beg your pardon. And he has so far, as you said, good pitch recognition as well as good awareness to realize that there hasn't been a strike thrown in the last few batters.
Sokol kicks and fires to Donay. Pitch misses high above the lettering on the Harbor Hawk in their away uniforms. Gray pants with a blue lining, blue top with orange lettering. The 3-0 comes into the zone down the heart of the plate for a 3-1 strike.
Yeah, dangerous position here there for Sokol, though, because you can't just give me a get-me-over strike here to Donay.
3-1 misses off the plate. Now bases loaded. Will Taylor makes the jog from second to third. Gazdar jogs to second now from first, and Donay stands at first base with now back-to-back walks for Sokol in his outing, as this will bring in Marty Lees, skipper for the Chatham Anglers, to have a conversation with his righty and his entire infield.
I'm such a fan of that at-bat from Brody Donay. On that 3-1 pitch, you're right, Nico, you have to get a pitch in there that's close. That pitch is close, but it's just off the plate. Brody knows that that's not his pitch, so he just lays off it, and that's one that is clearly out of the zone. Tough take, and that's one that you could see Brody chase on another day, but you can tell that he's locked in right now, leaves that pitch out, and works himself a really, really good walk.
Yeah, great walk, and it puts the Harbor Hawks in a great position to try to score some runs here. Got ducks on the pond, less than 2 outs here with Eric Snow at the plate.
Sokol kicks and fires off the plate, 1-0. And Snow's been in this position before, has hit a grand slam with bases loaded, as pitch misses down low in the dirt in the inner part of the plate, 2-0.
They left the bases loaded twice last night. Now here's their chance to respond a little bit and make sure that they get something out of this.
2-0 kick from Sokol. Back goes flying up into the netting, down by the camera well here at Veterans Field. As got accustomed to that last night with Gavin Turley, who lost it twice, and now Eric Snow maybe have to go make a run to the on-deck circle to grab the little bit of pine tar.
And now it's time for him to kind of channel his inner Gavin Turley. He lost his bat twice last night, and in the ensuing pitches, a double and a home run. So let's see if Snow can replicate that same kind of success after losing his bat. He, unlike Turley, is now rubbing some dirt on that grip. We didn't see Turley even move. He just got straight back into the box after losing it last night.
And some pine tar thrown on by the on-deck batter in Trey Lipsy. He throws it back over to Lipsy. Make sure his hands aren't going anywhere there. Make sure those are gripped up. Put it right on the handles of the bat. Snow from the University of South Florida was all-defensive team in the AAC. The 2-1 kicks and fires from Sokol inside on the bull. Melendez lost it for a second, but keeps it in front of him. It's a 3-1 count. No place to put Snow with bases loaded. Taylor at third, Gazdar at second, Donay at first. Snow lining it into the backhanded reach of Forsyth as he'll go to third on the throw to Kent. Won't be in time. The speedy Gazdar beats it down the line to third, and scoring will be Taylor. It's now 2-0 on Snow reaching on the fielder's choice.
Forsyth almost making an amazing play there. Covers the 6-hole so well. Ranges over to his right side, makes a play, tries to get that guy at third base, but just cannot get it.
Foul tip by Lipsy. Now 0-1 on the 9-hole hitter for the Harbor Hawks.
Something to notice about Chatham is they're not in any panic right now. With 1 out in both ABs, corners remain back. Third base is pulled in a little bit in Kent, but over there at Will Hoyt at first base is all the way out. Middle infield at normal depth. They're not in any panic here.
Sokol kicks and fires up in the grounder to Lipsy. Is grounded off over to Fabian, flips and fires, and they're able to turn the double play as Fabian fires off over to Wilhoit in time, and they get out of the bases loaded jam in a big situation. The Harbor Hawks respond for one in the top of the fourth. We're going to the bottom here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference.
Leave your mark.
Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Harbor Hawks able to get one across in the top of the fourth. They lead 2-0. Great play by Fabian. Off over to Forsyth at second base, flipping in time to get it over to Wilhoit for the double play. They get him out of the bases loaded jam. But now Anglers, as we get closer and closer to this fifth inning, that's where they have to be very cognizant. Situationally, Hyannis is 12-1 when leading after 5 innings. Chatham is 8-1. If either team is trailing after 5, Hyannis is 5-11. And now this is the stat that amazes me. If Chatham is trailing after 5 innings of play, they are 2-21. Their fight right now has to be to try and get some runs across here in the bottom half of the fourth and in the bottom half of the fifth to try and give themselves a game, because once again, miracles can happen, but 2-21 is a very large stat line. As the 0-0 pitch goes into Nolan Schubert on the in part of the plate for a 1-0 count.
And that was just a great job there by Sokol. You know, you talk about those numbers.
1-0. Dribbler up over to Ike on first base, running just to tag the base in time to beat out the Nolan Schubert, who is booking it down the first base line. Ike's athleticism gets him there to toe tap first base for the first down.
Yeah, with Sokol right there, who's losing, he's going to lock in and only hold the Harbor Hawks to 1 run. That's a great job. And like you said, with those numbers being so significant, keeping them in the ball game here early to give them a chance to come back later in the game.
Zach McDonald looks at the first pitch from Frank in his second at-bat, which misses low, skipping off the plate. 1-0. McDonald was able to single off of Frank back in the second, who would be stranded at second. The 1-0. Breaking ball at 75 miles an hour away.
Yeah, he tried to get me over curveball there. I thought I caught some of the plate there, but just missed up and away.
2-0. Upstairs out of the zone. Now 3-0. Frank here was now disengaged from the rubber, steps off, readjusts after a couple of balls. Be the 52nd pitch of his outing today. Kicks and fires in for strike to get me back across. Heart of the plate up in the zone. 3-1. Frank delivers the 3-1. Battles back to McDonald to swing around and miss at the 88-mile-an-hour pitch on the inner part of the zone. Payoff pitch from Frank is slowly rolled over to Gazdar. Up with it and fires to beat the speedy McDonald, trying to line. It's not in time for the second half.
Such a good mound disengagement there. 3 straight balls. Well, I'm just going to use it. I've got it, so why not use it? He takes a step off and then puts in perfect pitches in the zone, and then on that full count, pitches to the contact there in the zone, gets a weak ground ball. That is how you use a mound disengagement to the best of regroup when Frank has barely needed. That was a perfect one right there.
0-0 pitch to Kyson Donahue as he fouls it away up over the netting down the third base line. And the trees here at Veterans Field, the home of the Chatham Anglers.
Great field here. I love this field.
The 0-1 breaking ball on the outer part of the zone at 75 miles an hour. Frank delivers the 0-2. Ball that sorches out of the zone. 1-2.
We were talking about the firehouse earlier. Right in front of it, there's a nice big hill that stretches all the way from right out to deep center where there's an American flagpole as well. Families and people just lining the seats there with their lawn chairs.
1-2. Misses upstairs on the inner part of the zone.
And then right
2-2.
Sorry, Jacob, right in front of us, there's just a packed full bleachers every day. Everybody knows what goes on here at Veterans Field. Just a wonderful place to be.
2-2 popped up to the left side of the infield. Smith calls off Gazdar, who takes a couple steps away from the third base position. Anglers go down in order. 1, 2, 3. We're through 4. Hyannis leading 2-0.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust. Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
Welcome you back to Veterans Field here in Chatham, Massachusetts. 2-0. Harbor Hawks leading the Anglers. Says, got to give it up for our entire production crew, always making us laugh in those commercial breaks.
Yeah, and that's someone we're gonna miss is Grant McNews.
Yeah, last game for him tomorrow.
I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
So sad. It's last game tomorrow. Goes out with a bang, though, in Hartford, Connecticut at Dunkin' Donuts Park. Chopper by Earhart. He comes back up for his third time into the box. Sokol back out for his 5th inning of work. The 0-1 kick and delivery from Sokol into Earhart on the inner part of the plate. Now that 63rd pitch here to come for Sokol. Have to imagine on a little bit on a shorter leash here in the top of the 5th. 1-1, hooking foul, and will drop down into the Harbor Hawks bullpen down the right field line. 1-2.
Granted, it was only a 5 or so inning game the last time we were here on July 1st, and Sokol only went 3+. This is a much better outing, a considerably better outing, especially looking like we're going to be getting a full game played. He's working his way into the 5th inning, has a solid start going.
1-2, fouled away, up over by the restrooms here at Veterans Field. We'll do it again, 1-2. And Sokol comes into today with an 8.25 ERA, something he wants to get down, you have to imagine. As the 1-2 misses low, 2-2. And how you can get that down here is today having a stellar outing, only allowing 2 runs here so far off of 4 hits.
To a highly potent offense as well. His pitches are really working for him, and the guys, the real true hitters like Cam Smith in this lineup, they're going to beat up on anybody. So even if you're looking at this from the perspective of Jack Sokol, this has been a really good performance so far.
2-2, kick and fired upstairs on the 90-mile-an-hour pitch. Fastball upstairs gets Earhart swinging and missing for the 2nd time today. He's been retired all 3 times as he's entered the box.
Yeah, both pitchers seem to have found their groove early. Both pitchers working very fast, being able to locate their pitches. I mean, they have really established that up-and-in fastball for strike 3. A lot of swinging strikes on that up-and-in fastball after an off-speed pitch before.
First pitch to Mitchell's 3rd AB. Settles in off the plate, 1-0. Mitchell will ground that one through between Fabian and Wilhoy into right field. He gets aboard with the single. Mitchell continues to stay hot. Very solid bat for the Harbor Hawks all season long. Sometimes the leadoff hitter, but drops down here into the 2-hole.
Yeah.
He's aboard for Cam Smith.
Yeah, he's hitting a lot of different spots, but that's a guy you want early in the lineup, with a guy with that kind of speed and that kind of bat.
0-0 pitch. Smith goes around swinging for it. It's Forsythe up over to Fabian. As Fabian tries to toss over to Will Hoyt, it's Cam Smith's speed beating it down the line to erase the double play. They were looking for their 30th of the year, but Smith's speed's able to beat it down the line. However, they get the lead runner, though, in Mitchell.
Yeah, like I was saying, get the speedster out. It's a great play to get that lead runner because we've seen how much chaos Mitchell creates on the base paths.
Marty Lees will come out to have another conversation with his pitcher in Sokol as a new arm will start to run in from the arm barn. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. Marty Lees and the Anglers bullpen make a call to bring in Tommy Molsky out of State College, Pennsylvania. Attends Penn State. How fitting the hometown guy going to the hometown school. Will be his 8th game of the year for the Anglers, sporting an 8.83 ERA, trying to bring that down here and try and continue on, which was a very solid start from Jack Sokol.
Yeah, no doubt. Especially like we mentioned, his ERA wasn't maybe where it had been. He's eaten up some innings, and he didn't have a great start against the same Hyannis Harbor Hawks team, and really established himself early. Talked about how quickly he worked throughout this game. He was using pitch location and then saved his off speeds for later in the game, and that seemed to work wonders for him.
Yeah, you said that Sokol had a really, really good start, and you're looking towards Molsky here to retire Ike. I found it interesting. They didn't have the time to make the point, but I found it interesting that they pitched to Cam Smith, to be honest with you, especially seeing him the 3rd time through. We saw Falmouth throw to Cam Smith last night, and he punished him for it, sending a ball to the deepest part of Gov Fuller Field. And now I was thinking they weren't going to throw to him, but manager Marty Lees was really quick out there as soon as they saw Ike coming up to get Molsky up and ready. I was looking down in that bullpen to see if they were going to throw to Smith. Eventually they did. They just about got away with it, and now just one more to retire Ike. And that could end this inning as well.
Molsky comes in with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Ike grounds the first pitch he sees to Fabian at second base, shading closer to second. Fabian fires in time to Will Hoyt at first base. Molsky comes in and does his job, stranding Smith at second. We move to the bottom of the 5th here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure. It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why'd he sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like
my inside voice?
Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Through the first half of the game, Hyannis leading 2-0 as we push on to the bottom half of the fifth. Chatham trying to respond, and Hayden Frank back out for another inning of work. Still below 60 pitches. His next pitch that he pitches here in this contest will be his 60th, sitting at 59 coming into this inning.
Yeah, we talk about both starting pitchers today, really on today. They were in their groove. They found their rotation. They just seem to be feeling good all game. Wouldn't be surprised if Frank's going to try to finish out this half inning here.
Go up against Melendez, Wilhoit, and Fabian. 7, 8, and 9 in this Anglers lineup. First pitch to Melendez misses off the plate, 1-0, and all of them, Melendez struck out, Wilhoit struck out, and then Fabian flew out. They have not been able to reach base just yet, as the 1-0 to Melendez just off the plate, 2-0.
And it's big. This is only their second time up as well. So you get through these three, and you haven't even faced the top of the order for the third time. So this is a big 3 batters here for Hayden Frank.
2-0 upstairs and away. 3-0 with a little bit of movement in the Harbor Hawks bullpen now. So 3-0, kicks and fires upstairs and away. Melendez able to work a walk. He gets on base for the first time today.
The first baseman from Lipscomb, number 57, Trace Wilhoit.
Now Frank will go up against his teammate, Trace Wilhoit, from Lipscomb as well. Two of them Bison out of the A-Sun together. 0-0 pitch. 0-1. Now as a strike hits the inner part of the plate zone. Good rivalries get to bring back now to fall ball. 0-1. Breaking ball at 74 miles an hour, tying the count at 1 apiece.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Two guys who've seen each other a lot already, have a lot of experience. They understand their tendencies, so it's really fun to watch those matchups take place.
1-1. Lined up to Snow at second base. And it's booted underneath and through the wickets of the sophomore from the University of South Florida. Melendez stays at second. Wilhoit gets aboard. Now, Derek Fabian will settle into the box, but before that, Eric Luxus will come out to have a conversation with his hurler.
Yeah, and that's a tough break for Frank. A guy who's, getting close to maybe that pitch limit, getting close to, maybe being towards the end of his day. Double play opportunity there, just gets through the glove of Snow. It's a tough break for the pitcher.
Snow was in perfect positioning for, it was right up the middle. Snow had drifted over, but just took a nasty hop underneath his glove and got away from him. But great backup by Mitchell to come in running to elicit a throw from him. Was Melendez starting to lead off of second. He makes a solid throw to make Melendez retreat back to second base.
Yeah, Mitchell made an aggressive come up on it, kept the runner at second base, keeps the runner off third base, which is huge, obviously. Now we have a force out on any base, expecting Frank to try to get another ground ball here.
Fabian with 2 on and still nobody away. The 9-hole hitter for the Anglers sees Frank as Luxus vacates the mound. 0-0 pitch is bunted foul, 0-1 by Fabian.
And something interesting here, I don't know if it's a bunt coverage or if I don't know if it's just on scouting report, but Gazdar is actually holding the runner at second base even on a righty. So usually in these moments, they'll pull Gazdar into that 6-hole, but they're keeping Snow home at second base, keeping him pulled over, assuming it's a bunt coverage here.
0-1, bunt shown, slow chopper, up to Frank, fires, pulling Snow away, and will dribble into right field. 1-1 will come in, and Melendez, they'll hold Wilhoit at third base. Frank's throw just pulled Snow who is in time to get coverage, just too far off the bag. Now one in for the Anglers in the bottom of the fifth. Still nobody away here on this Tuesday night.
Such a tough play there for Frank. Again, like we saw earlier, that bunt, that grass just kills that ball. Frank has to come, get it with his glove side, make a flip turn, turn the hips, and make a play at first. Just pull Snow off the bag. Again, a tough break after we saw that ball just get by Snow earlier.
Now Eric Beatty will come out to have a conversation with Frank, and looks like it will do the Bison's night on the bump. Colleran starts his jog in from the bullpen. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky, because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about. Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Dennis Colleran comes in relief of Hayden Frank here at Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, taking on the Anglers today on this Tuesday evening. Beautiful skies, but Colleran's going to have to work out of a jam here. One run's already in this 2-1 ball game right now as it stands. Will Hoyt stands at third. Fabian stands at second base. Still nobody retired in this home half of the fifth. Colleran's going to have to try and limit the runs across and try and get 3 outs here without allowing one.
Yeah, no doubt. And he's a high velo guy in Dennis Colleran. Fastball slider guy. He does have a changeup, uses it less, but also a ground ball guy, which is a guy you want to see in this situation. And then when he has a ball put into play, it's 61% of the time, it's a ground ball. So great double play chances here. So this is the guy you want up with runners on. But, of course, the run on second and third, it's going to be a tough play here. Interesting to see if they go corners in or middle in and see what their defense looks like.
They'll bring in Ike to touch the grass as it stands. As a couple more warm-up pitches will come from Colleran, so can't really read the defense just yet. But now you bring back up to the top of the lineup for the Anglers, Bryce Martin Grudzelanek. He settles into the box. Ike will touch the grass on the right side of the infield. Smith plays closer, but playing straight up for the most part. Snow shading to second base. Gasdor stays firm at the traditional shortstop position. First pitch from Colleran is popped up into foul territory. Ike's going to give it a chase. It'll fall into the dugout of the Harbor Hawks. Eric Beatty's the skipper went flying out of the dugout as that one hit off the concrete right where he normally stands. Martin Grudzelanek behind in the count, 0-1 to the Northeastern Husky. Dennis Colleran, who has a 3.00 ERA on the season. Pitch gets away, bouncing up into the netting for Donay. Coming in on the wild pitch will be Trace Wilhoit. We're back tied here at Veterans Field at 2 apiece. Fabian advances as well from second to third. Back tied at 2 apiece here in the bottom of the fifth.
Communication between John and inside the dugout. He was asking if they're going to go all the way in, but it looks like they're going to pull the middle infield back and keep the corners in.
1-1. Misses inside and upstairs, 2-1. Do exactly that, keeping the corners in. 2-1 delivery. Swing and a miss for Martin Grudzelanek. Tie the count at 2 apiece. Harbor Hawks looking to try and get out of the home half of the fifth with only allowing 2 to plate. Fabian still stands at third. 2-1 will be blooped and down in front of Taylor in right field. Scoring will be Fabian standing. It's now 3 runs and still nobody away for the Anglers in the home half of the fifth.
Just a beautiful swing right there. 95 miles per hour fastball out, away, and he runs along and just uses his hands. Very wristy swing, puts over the first baseman's head right there in Ike. Nothing can do there. That's just a great swing to get the RBI.
Caden Kent now comes to the box. Still no one retired in the bottom half of the fifth. Kent looks at a pitch that runs inside on 94 miles an hour, forcing Kent to step away from the box. 1-0.
All 3 of those runs will be going to Frank's ledger. A few of those probably won't be earned.
Check back for Colleran, who looks over with Martin Grudzelanek getting back in safely to first base. Colleran with the Craig Kimbrell arm leave over as the 1-0 is ripped and Turves foul just before the foul line pole down the right field line. Hard hit ball by Kent, 91 miles an hour off the bat.
Yeah, 94 coming into him as well. You really have to know that pitch is coming, and he turned on it. Up and over the middle. You have to get that bat up, tomahawk up to get just a little bit of contact. That was real solid on it as well. Only just hooking just a bit foul outside of that foul pole down the right field line.
1-1 pitch to come from Colleran. Martin Grudzelanek stands at first base. Second and third open. A 1-1. Breaking ball at 87. Outer part of the plate. Moves the count to 1-2 against Kent.
Yeah, after you see a guy pull under 94 mile per hour fastball, it's a great idea just to back that up with the slider. Swings right over the top of it. That's a great backup pitch there by Colleran.
1-2. Outer part of the plate. And outside for a ball. 2-2. Kick and fire from Colleran is flown into shallow right field. It will drop in between Mitchell, Taylor, and Snow, who all gave chase. And the inning continues for the Anglers. 2 aboard with already 3 across here in the bottom of the fifth.
Yeah, it's something actually I was going to mention before, right before he swung. Mitchell was actually pulled into the left center gap a little, leaving that right center really open. And with Kent being a left-handed hitter, you know, I'm kind of a little bit surprised they left that right center gap so open. But I guess when you do have a velo guy like Colleran and throwing 96 miles per hour, you know, you tend to hit more away. So not that bad idea, but just an unfortunate event there for the Harbor Hawks.
Lane Forsythe now comes into the box. He looks at a strike, 0-1.
Saw that little baby earthquake right there? I think it shook a little bit. I don't know if you guys felt that.
Sorry, the people in front of me keep moving around and standing up in front of my view to home plate. And I am 5'6", so I do have to compensate with standing here. The 0-1 bunt shown down the line. Underhand toss from Ike, who came charging into the line to Snow to get the first out. But on the move was Martin Grudzelanek to third base and Caden Kent to second. 1 retired here, getting the sure out.
And that's a good idea there, too. They saw Frank was the creator of his own downfall, and the last time they showed sacrifice bunt on the bunt from Fabian's, but that one looked a lot more sure, a lot more control in that, as they're going to intentionally walk Schubert here to load the bases to set up the force at any base. But this time it was controlled by Ike there. He was the one who took charge, and good cover by Snow over at first.
3 runs so far already coming across for the Anglers here in the home half of the fifth. They were held scoreless coming into this half inning. But now Zach McDonald comes in as they look to try and turn a double play here with the intentional walk, you have to imagine.
And you talked about how big getting runs for them was after their record trailing after 5.
0-0 pitch. It's a 87-mile-an-hour pitch down the heart of the plate. 0-1.
And just like that, they're back up and ahead, so credit to them for taking advantage of the chances that they're given.
A 1 swung on and missed by McDonald.
Should I be standing right now? I kind of feel left out. Should I stand? I mean,
if you'd like to, come on and join us.
Big moment in the game. You know, I understand. I get it. 0-2 here.
You're a little taller than us, Nico. The 0-2 kick fired and lined back over to the sliding Snow, who covered ground and stabs it out of the sky. Does a great job in this great athleticism, dropping to a knee to glove it. No movement, quicken up with it to check back. Martin Grudzelanek to third base. 2 retired now.
Game of margins this is. That gets through Snow. 2 runs potentially score there, and it could get a bit more out of reach, but a really big play from Snow. Now a fly ball doesn't score a run. It could end the inning. Huge, huge play from Snow.
But that brings up Kyson Donahue now as he looks at a strike.
That has to be such a confidence-inducing out for Collar, and now he comes in with the upper hand, and he knows that he can do anything here, as it could get an out and end this inning.
0-1, fouled back into the glove of Donay. 0-2, Collar ahead against Donahue, who's now the 9th batter as they have officially batted around here in the home half of the 5th at Veterans Field.
Collins seems to be finding his stride here a little bit. Seems to be working that fastball in and out of the zone, keeping his hitters off balance.
The 0-2 kick and fire from Colin popped up into the sky. Donay loses the mask, but it goes right into the stands down the third base line right behind the Anglers dugout. Will remain at an 0-2 count. Anglers looking for more with 2 in scoring position with bases loaded.
With that last 2-strike line drive that Snow made it down and plant, I wouldn't mind seeing Colin go out of the zone here. Trust your catcher here and kind of don't let him make contact here.
0-2, 97 miles an hour fastball upstairs. Gets Donahue swinging and missing. He works himself out of the jam, but it's 3 across. Chatham now leading after 5, 3-2.
That chip on the shoulder, that started at a very, very young age. People's expectations are, they're cool, they're fun, but mine are bigger.
When you play in New York, they want to see winners. It doesn't matter if it's a Monday or a Friday or a Saturday. You got to come with it, or those fans will let you know.
Pick one thing from me, pick one other thing from another player, make it your own, you turn to who you want to be.
What motivates me is the unknown. You know, how good can I be? You get away from the lights, you get away from the camera.
Mientras más presente yo esté en la caja de bateo, más éxito tengo.
Man, how can you not keep it fun, man? This is a kid's game.
If you could go back and tell 10-year-old Francisco one thing, what would it be?
You're a bad mother.
It was 3 runs on 2 hits, 2 errors by the Harbor Hawks. Chatham leaves them loaded in the bat around bottom of the 5th for the Anglers here at Veterans Field. Hyannis now leading 3-2 here on this Tuesday night.
Yeah, Colleran comes in to get themselves out of that inning with the lead. Doesn't get that done, but he strands the bases loaded. That's really big for Hyannis because if Snow doesn't make that play, it's an easy enough play for him because of how much of a plus defender he is. If he doesn't make that play, as well as not striking out Donahue with a big pitch as well, just a fastball to challenge him that Donahue loses on, this game could get ugly real fast. So keeping this game within 1 and averting further damage is massive there. That's exactly what Colleran did.
0-0 pitch will soon come to Taylor from Clemson University. First pitch inside from Molsky. 1-0. Molsky kicks and fires into the zone. 1-1, only had 1 pitch coming in after he came in to go up against Brandon Ike, and Ike looked at the first pitch and grounded it off over to Fabian the first time he came into the game as Taylor fouls a 1-1 back into the netting, 1-2.
Yeah, now the Harbor Hawks have to respond. Nothing that they're unfamiliar to doing. Only a one-run game, too. They love these one-run situations because we talk about the Luke Combs offense. When it rains, it pours for these guys. So hopefully they can string together a big inning. They've got their contact guys up to do so in Taylor Gazdar. And if they can get on for Brody Donay, that only spells trouble for Chatham.
Home plate umpire David Gabber comes out to brush off the plate. 1-2 kick and fire to Taylor. They'll check down on the appeal to Jacob Ashworth. They say Taylor went around for the first out here in the top of the 6th.
And that is such a sharp slider that he's got. Big fastball slider guy. You know, throws that fastball predominantly over half the time, but then loves to back up that fastball with a slider. Breaks it off there. Use it late in counts. Loves to throw it to righties. Loves to throw it behind their shoulder, and as well as a strike 3 pitch.
0-0 pitch to Gazdar, misses away 1-0. As you saw, Kent come in running quickly after he got word from the dugout. 1-0. Line just out of the reach of the diving Kent. Gazdar will stand aboard safely at first as Schubert was able to get to the line drive into shallow left field.
Don't bring him in, guys, because John can do that when he gets the barrel on the ball, squares that up real tough, and just absolutely shoots it past Caden Kent there. And this is what you want. You want a guy on base, whether or not in scoring position, for Brody Donay, because he's got power from gap to gap, line to line, all over this field. Big at-bat here for Brody.
Donay will scorch one into left center field, and it'll get down and hop off the track. McDonald's quick to it. Gazdar wheels around second and comes in sliding to third. Donay moves over and comes in sliding to second base as well. Now 2 in scoring position with 1 retired here in the top of the 6th.
And that pitch right there, Donay gets a first pitch fastball. We do not see that very often, but it was because of the pitch recognition we've seen through him throughout his ABs earlier in the game that he was spitting on those pitches. He didn't want anything to do with those off-speed pitches low in the dirt. So they attack him, first pitch fastball there, and he jumps all over it.
I love it when I sound so right. He just shoots that deep out into the left center field gap because he knows, as you just said, Nico, with that pitch recognition, finally seeing that first pitch fastball.
0-0 pitch comes to Snow. Off the plate, 1-0.
And that's why you don't give those to Donay, because he's just all over them every single time. He's going out there swinging, looking for fastballs on that first pitch. Can't challenge a guy like that, because that's exactly what he'll do. Now 2 doubles on the day for Brody.
Olski will get the 82-mile-an-hour breaking ball to have Snow come around and miss. And coming in, Donay was tied for second in the Cape Cod Baseball League with 9 doubles. 2 today, moves himself to 11. So far in the year to give him a sturdy second in the Cape Cod Baseball League as the 1-1 tips in on the outer part of the plate for strike 1-2. Molsky gets the signs from Melendez. A 1-2. Snow holds on it, thought about going, but a pitch that misses outside ties the count at 2 apiece.
Tough take there. We saw him on July 1st a few weeks ago utilize right field so well. You could tell that's kind of what he was wanting to do. With that runner on third, Snow's a good guy to have up because he can push it to that right side, whether it be a ground ball or shooting it out into right field. This is what you want from Eric Snow.
2-2. Chopper up over the glove of Molsky and out of the reach of Forsythe. It's speed coming around from Donay. The throw will be cut off by the streaking Will Hoy and the first baseman. 2 plate off the grounder that got through the infield and into shallow center off of Eric Snow's bat. And just like that, Hyannis has responded for 2 and take the lead back by 1.
That's another great at-bat by Eric Snow. Saw a lot of fastballs in that count. Had a lot of great takes on tough sliders just outside the zone that we've seen a few of our guys already swing through. Great take, great patience, smacks it up the middle, gets a 2 RBI base hit there. That's huge for the Harbor Hawks to respond there.
Trey Lipsy looks at a first pitch that gets away off of the chest protector of Melendez. Snow quickly moves to second base. Now another in scoring position, still only 1 retired here in the top of the 6th.
We talk about the responses that Hyannis gives when they go down like that, you always want to see them respond at some point. When they go down, they've been seeing rapid responses, coming right back and instantly firing themselves straight back into the lead.
1-0 kick from Molsky at 84 miles an hour pitch that gets Lipsy swinging and missing 1-1.
And that's been characteristic of Hyannis lately. They haven't been down too much, but when they do go down, they instantly get up, punch back, and take a little bit of exception to the fact that lead was taken from them. So a good response as they hunt for more.
1-1 bunt shown by Lipsy. He pulls back just in time for a ball that dips on the inside part of the plate against the lefty. 2-1.
And Michael, to your point earlier, just showing bunt right there, even if you don't use it, it possibly pulls in that third baseman, can either bring him in or on the grass, which just opens up that 6-hole.
Two-one from Molsky. Lined, hopped on the ground to Wilhoit. He comes over to get the 3 unassisted at first base. Moving from second to third is Eric Snow on the fielder's choice. Bringing back the top of the lineup for the Harbor Hawks and Zach Earhart.
And the way Earhart has been hitting in his last 10 games, I mean, he's been at the center of everything. 381 over his last 10. After that 0-for-26 start, it's so amazing to think that he's pulled himself all the way up to above 250. Now up even towards 260 coming into today.
0-0 pitch misses, or excuse me, flirts with the zone on the outer part of the plate. 0-1.
And this is exactly the guy you want up with, a guy 90 feet away, hoping to tie this game.
0-1, fouled back directly into the netting behind home plate. He's behind in the count. 0-2 with Snow standing at third base off the advancement on the fielder's choice on Lipsy's ground ball to Wilhoit. 4-3 Hyannis leading here in the top of the 6th. 0-2. Earhart swings and misses out in front of the 84-mile-an-hour breaking ball. However, Hyannis responds for 2 of their own. They now lead by 1 going into the bottom of the 6th.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen. Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
4-3 Hyannis leading, and we're so gifted to have Nico Sharp in the booth here with us today, and we're talking about Molsky's slider and how sharp it is. And you were talking about what makes it so deadly is the direct movement it has and why no one has been able to hit it. If you look at all the strikeouts, you look at Will Taylor who struck out and then Earhart against Molsky so far, and then Lipsy had to go down and reach it and forcing the ground ball there. That's been his put-away pitch.
Yeah, no doubt, and it's all been watching this guy's film. When you watch Molsky pitch, all of his pitches start in that same quadrant. It's really fun to watch because his changeup, his fastball, and his slider all start from the same vantage point and just break different directions. It's so difficult for our hitters to pick that up, and that's why we're swinging through a lot of 2-strike sliders.
Colleran back out for his second inning of work.
Yeah, a big term that Blake Buscemi and the rest of baseball ops crew works with.
So 1-0 misses upstairs, 2-0 on Jaden Melendez.
That term is tunneling, and that's what he's doing so well. The release point is such a big thing there. If you're having this, all 3 pitches come from the same exact release point, that's going to make it so tough on hitters to recognize what pitch is coming.
2-0. Misses upstairs, 3-0 from Colleran on Melendez. And you don't realize how hard tunneling is until you go into a bullpen session with Nico Sharp, which I did earlier this week, as the 3-0 in for a strike down the heart of the plate, a get-me-over strike, 3-1. And you don't realize how to have the release point for every one of your pitches, minus you. My slider's not doing anything like that. The 3-1 in for a strike on the inner part of the plate, loads the count full. But to have the same release point every pitch is very difficult, especially with the natural tendencies of different pitches. The payoff delivery is lined directly to Cam Smith, who makes the grab, touching the dirt, keeping his glove under it, and makes the grab for the first out here of the home half of the 6th.
And we talked about the Harbor Hawks responding, but now it's important for Colin to have another good inning and don't let Chatham respond here. That's what's so important is now we have the lead, now let's keep it. Now it's in our bullpen's hands, and they've done well with that all year round.
And to be fair to Colleran, he comes in a pretty precarious situation, already treacherous stepping. But he comes in, strands the bases loaded, averts further damage, and now he's coming into his first full inning where he can really relax a little bit, not as high of leverage, and for the situation he came in, he did a relatively good job. So to keep them in it, to keep the run scoring just at 3.
Pitch in on the pinch hitter, Brennan Holt for strike, 0-1. Holt comes in for Trace Wilhoit, whose night will end here in the 6th with Holt out of the University of South Alabama. He flies that one foul over the Chatham Anglers press box here at Veterans Field, 0-2.
It's so important for Colleran to keep them at those 3 runs, to keep them at bay. If not, they have to fight back a little bit more, but instead Hyannis now has the lead instead of having to fight back from even more behind.
Kicks and fires on the 0-2 on the outer part of the play at 82 miles an hour and gets Holt swinging and missing for strikeout. 2 retired here in the 6th.
Yeah, that's a great strikeout pitch, just frozen there. It looked like he pulled the string on it a little bit, took a little bit off at 88 miles per hour, most likely his changeup that he doesn't throw very often, but just caught the hitter's foot out front, couldn't even pull the trigger.
Derek Fabian looks at a pitch for a ball on the outer part of the plate from Auburn. The left fielder reached on an error and came around to score back in the illustrious 5th inning. So the 1-0 misses low below the knees, 2-0. Darkness completely fallen on Veterans Field on the 2-0 pitch. Fastball at 95 miles an hour, touching the zone for a 2-1 count.
And you know what, guys? You see that red brick building out there?
I can, as a
we
matter
can
of
see
fact.
it. We're gonna play this game, guys. This is amazing.
I can see it.
2-1. Fastball upstairs again, this time further and outside the zone, 3-1. Talk about Veterans Field. Plagued with some fog issues with how close it is to the Atlantic Ocean here on the Cape Cod Baseball League. 3-1 delivery. Pitch misses high in the heart of the plate. It'll be a walk for Derek Fabian to get aboard.
Is it the ocean?
It is the ocean.
So which way is the sound? Is the sound down like where we are closer? So if we're playing off the south of the Cape, that's the sound, and then out this way east is the ocean?
It's
the yes.
I'm trying to explain it because
it's the Elbow.
Cape Cod sticks out,
Yep.
but there's no sound. The only time it would be sound is up, as the first pitch from Martin Grudzelanek would swing and miss, 0-1. So yeah, the sound, Cape Cod sound is up, not south.
Got it.
So it would be north of Hyannis or really north anywhere.
No, my geography is very bad. At least of this area, it's not very good. Thank you for the education.
I got you.
Please.
0-1. In for a strike on Martin Grudzelanek, now moves to 0-2. So viewers at home or listeners at home, you want to hold out your arm, make the bicep.
Flex it,
and that's Cape Cod for you. Thank you, Nico Sharp. 0-2 is fouled back into the netting. We'll do it again, 0-2. So Chatham is your elbow. It's all the way out here. Hyannis is right at the tip of where your bicep is. That curve, it is right there. Yes.
Flex it hard, man.
It is right in the middle of your bicep. And Chatham kicks out a little bit. So you have right on the Atlantic. The 0-2 kick delivery from Colleran inside. Moving was Fabian on the pitch. He comes in sliding on the stolen base to second base.
And we talked about Chatham not wanting to steal very much there. And with Colin having a higher leg kick and an 0-2 count, most likely off speed there, that is the only time that they will most likely go, and we saw it there.
Pitch off the plate. Now 2-2 count with Donay coming out and giving an attaboy to his pitcher here to try and get this final out in the bottom of the 6th. Colleran reads the signs from the Gator. It's a swing and a miss from Martin Grudzelanek on the big swing. He goes down swinging. Fabian stranded at second base. We go to the 7th. Hyannis leading 4-3.
Your future begins at Dean College.
Make a difference. Leave your mark. Break the mold.
Be a leader.
Achieve unimagined heights.
Believe in yourself. Make lifelong friends.
This is your time.
Your place.
Your home. Your Dean.
It all starts here at Dean College.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
Welcome you back here to Veterans Field. So happy to have you with us here tonight on your Tuesday evening, wherever you're finding us. Alongside Michael Kersing, Nico Sharp, I'm Jacob Irons. Bria Losick patrolling the sidelines for us and the dugouts. And producer tonight as well, doing it all for us today.
Yeah, stepping in for Grant McNew. Grant McNew going to be moving on here very soon, so possible V-Mix person here on the sidelines, guys.
Got to train everybody in all positions. We had the producers broadcast at home. I ran V-Mix. It is not as easy as they say.
No.
I only got in 3 replays. I was very proud of my 3 replays, but it was very tough.
Gotta say, I had fun on camera. I mean, camera's not my favorite thing to do all the time, but this was a real fun one. Had some freedom with it, and that one was a lot of fun, can't lie.
There'll be a new pitcher here for the Anglers. It'll be Jack Brodsky out of the University of Tampa in Woodcliff Lake, New Jersey.
Really?
Yes.
It's about 20 minutes from me.
Oh.
There we go.
Yes. Brodsky appearing in his 8th game here with a 2.79 ERA. Last appearance was on the 21st of July up against Orleans. He went an inning and 2/3. Only gave up a run. It was not earned. He comes on to take on Mitchell, Smith, and Ike here in the top of the 7th.
We're about to see a guy who's a similar pitcher that we've seen for Chatham. He's another fastball slider guy. Loves with the fastball first, get ahead and counts, and then back that up with the slider.
Brodsky kicks and fires. First pitch skips off the plate and over the stabbing Melendez. 1-0. A 1-0 kick and fire is lined and off of the glove of Will Hoyt, who ran out diving off the line. It's a sharply hit ball by Mitchell off the glove of Will Hoyt. He's able to get aboard with the single.
Yeah, big leadoff single there that puts some good speed on base for Cam Smith. And with the lead here, if they want to be aggressive, they could go for a bit of a hit and run here. So interesting with Mitchell on base. You can do whatever you want with Cam Smith at the dish.
Cam Smith now settles in. 0-0 pitch from Brodsky to come to Florida State Seminole. Check swing that fouled back, 0-1.
A few defensive switches for Chatham as Holt was the pinch hitter for Will Hoyt last inning. He slides out into right field, and with Holt going to right, Kyson Donahue slides down into first base.
Quicks back in, diving in is Mitchell on the check back from Brodsky.
Brodsky's got pretty quick feet there on the mound. That's a very quick pick, and to keep Mitchell honest there at first base.
0-1, Mitchell set in motion. It's a low ball that gets away and bouncing off of the padding behind home plate. As Mitchell, we ruled a stolen base as he was well in motion before the pitch was even thrown, although it got away from Melendez.
Yeah, Mitchell got a great jump, and we talked about how much chaos he creates on the base paths. Gets a great jump there. Even if that ball doesn't get past Melendez, he's getting there easily.
It's the 1-1. In for a strike as Smith held on his swing. They'll make a move from Holt, who moves down to center field. McDonald will go over to right field for the Anglers. Donahue stands firm at first base. 1-2 kick and delivery to Smith. Off the plate, 2-2.
Now Cam operates with, Cam operates with a runner in scoring position, how he loves to do it.
2-2 with Mitchell at second. Brodsky looks him back, now finally kicks and fires. High chopper, slowly caught in the grass. Kent will barehand, but won't be able to beat out the speedy Smith down the line. It was a high chopper that once it hit the grass, we've seen it already tonight, just got caught up in it and died on contact, and Kent had to barehand it, come in charging down 6 feet down the line in the grass and couldn't get there in time for the speedy Smith to get aboard. And now Mitchell was moving the entire time. He stands at third. Brandon Ike now steps into the box. Ike fouls away the first pitch he sees off over by the playground here at Veterans Field. 0-1. Hyannis leading 4-3 here in the top of the seventh. From Brodsky in the dirt. Melendez keeping it in front of him. Melendez being challenged here so far with Brodsky. Just pitches that are dropping out of the zone, keep hitting the dirt and doing a great job to keep him in front of him, the majority of them.
Especially with Mitchell there on third base. If that ball kicks any far away from him, Mitchell's going to get there easily at home.
Brodsky will check back Smith, who comes in diving to first base. Mitchell stands at third base still with Brandon Ike. A 1-1 kick and fired. Low and outside. 2-1. Brandon Ike, newer addition to the team coming on in the last week from the Coastal Plain Leagues. Plays spring ball with the VCU Rams. 2-1 delivery is grounded foul out of the reach of skipper Eric Beatty and the third base coach's box.
Brodsky's on a lot of fastballs here to Ike. Wouldn't be surprised here if he tries to bend a slider and either get me over or tries to break it off the plate.
2-2 delivery is flown into right center field and will get down. Quickly on it is McDonald. The throw will come in as Smith moves from first to third on the speed, and scoring easily will be Nick Mitchell. Now a 5-3 ball game in favor of the Hawks.
That's a great swing there by Ike. He saw a lot of 91 mile-per-hour fastballs there, and then he hangs an 83 mile-per-hour slider, just able to get his barrel out front. It's a beautiful swing. Finds a way to scrap a run there.
Yeah, I think he might have heard you, Nico. It was one where he just kind of hung it up over the plate, and Ike's ready for it. He's got to go up to get that pitch, but a really, really nice swing. Sent it the opposite way. Hyannis likes this right field here in Chatham.
0-0 pitch. Comes outside against Will Taylor, 1-0. And look at that right field. Had the infamous triple from Cam Smith in the fog game that was able to call the game. That went all the way and nestled against the foul pole down right field line. It's the 1-0 in for a strike. Taylor takes it.
And in that same game, Eric Snow slapped an RBI single through that right side, too. They're probably told it's a bit short of a right field for whoever is there to go attack it, especially when there's a hole the way there is right now with the second baseman Fabian shading closer to second base.
1-1 to Taylor is golfed foul and out of play. Up over the netting, down behind the Harbor Hawks in the first base dugout here tonight at Veterans Field. Still nobody retired here in the top of the seventh. 1-2, fouled away, same spot. This time the netting catches it. Nick Mitchell already around to score. Smith stands at third with Ike at first. Brodsky looking for his first out of the outing here in the top of the 7th. 1-2 to Taylor. Takes a fastball upstairs at 90 miles an hour.
That's a great take. We've seen a lot of guys swing over that up and in high fastball, and that's a great take. Will Taylor wanted, almost pulled the trigger there, but then stops himself just in time.
2-2. Ike in motion. Ball that misses low. The defensive indifference there allows Ike to move. Melendez had an opportunity, but just comes up and doesn't want to elicit a throw with Smith standing at third. Full count now to come to Will Taylor. Payoff pitch. Off the plate. It's a walk for Will Taylor. Now bases loaded with still nobody retired in the top of the 7th to bring up John Gazdar.
Now the second straight game. We saw it last night at Falmouth, as there will be a mound meeting now. We saw it last night at Falmouth, and now we see it here tonight. Harbor Hawks loading the bases twice now, this time with nobody out. They scored a few runs last night, but did leave them stranded twice. So now, after leaving them stranded last time out, Hyannis definitely looking to expand on their lead. It's a 2-run lead. No 2-run lead is safe here. So Gazdar hit the ball really hard last time in his last at-bat. Also scored last inning in the 6th. So you've got a good contact-heavy part of the order with Gazdar up now and Donay on deck, who already has 2 doubles to his name today.
Yeah, these are 2 guys you want up at the plate, especially with no outs. Guys are going to put the ball in play. Most likely get a single. Love the way these guys have been swinging the bat. These are the guys you want with 0 outs.
0-0 pitch to Gazdar. Has him fooled on the 84-mile-an-hour breaking ball as he swings and misses.
It's a great pitch there by Brodsky. Understanding that John with the bases loaded here wants to get that fastball up front. Just does that flip over for a first pitch slider.
0-1 kick and fired. Pitch misses upstairs on the appeal. Gazdar is able to hold on it. 1-1. Brodsky toes the rubber, kicks, fires. As Gazdar looks at a 92-mile-an-hour fastball down the heart of the plate. 1-2. Bases juiced here for the Harbor Hawks. 1-2. Comes in and bounces in front of the moving Holt. Smith will come in, but with Holt's promptness to get onto the ball, it's only station and station for the runners as Gazdar picks up an RBI single with Smith scoring. 2 in here, and now Harbor Hawks leading 6-3 at the top of the 7th.
Holt got a great jump on it. Almost looked like he was going to come up with it. And a great job there by deking the runners, only allowing them to go station to station.
I thought that ball was in the gap. I thought there was going to be multiple runs scoring there, but regardless, now only still 1 run in and only still nobody out for Brody Donay.
Brody Donay looks at a strike on the outer part of the plate. Still nobody retired here in this top of the 7th with 2 already coming to plate. Bases remain loaded. 0-1 from Brodsky. Comes in at 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Donay's out in front of it, swinging and missing. Ike at third, Taylor at second, and Gazdar at first with bases loaded. Brodsky kicks and fires the 0-2. It's a swing and a miss from Brody Donay as Brodsky is able to get the first out of the visitors' top of the 7th.
I honestly think that's a statement at bat right there from Brodsky. We were talking about how fastball heavy Donay is and how he looks. He just challenged him with 3 straight fastballs right there and had him fishing on all 3. A big out, big first out, especially with how much Brody Donay loves sitting on those fastballs.
0-0 pitch to Snow. Comes outside of the zone, 1-0. Bases remain loaded for the Harbor Hawks. They lead 6-3 in the top of the 7th. The 1-0. Smith takes inside and low for strike 1-1. Brodsky takes a breath, kicks and fires. 1-2.
Brodsky is really settled in here with bases loaded and no outs. Really settled in with that at-bat to Donay, and now flipping it over to Snow.
1-2 is flown into right center field. Holt positions himself under it. Tagging and coming to score will be Ike. It's now a 3-run half inning for the Harbor Hawks, 7-3. Now we'll elicit a mound meeting here with Brodsky.
Yeah, with that was such a productive AB there by Snow. You know, with Brodsky settling in and looking really good and really dominant, those two ABs right there, to be able to find a way, get some barrel on it, to be able to get an RBI, you know, and get on top and get under that baseball and just drive it to the outfield to allow that run to score.
It'll be a pitching change for the Anglers with 2 retired. We'll take a quick break and be right back here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile? Yep.
T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevators. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Hell, Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Hell, Mama.
It'll be a pitching change here for the Anglers, bringing in Trey Gibson. A righty out of Liberty and Yorktown, Virginia. Comes in to try and work himself out of this inning with already allowing 3 to plate here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, no doubt. And well, before that, I mean, we saw a couple raindrops come out of nowhere. I don't know what was going on there. But if you saw us looking around on camera, a few stragglers of raindrops just kind of fell on us. We were kind of getting concerned. We have a lot of equipment, and I just felt one on my head again. So I don't know what's going on. The radar shows to be clear, but
There's nothing on radar.
I'm not sure what happened there, but there were – look, it's falling again. What's happening?
You're starting to see it from the lights here.
Is that snow?
It is not.
What?
It is very large droplets of rain, if anything, but nothing too crazy yet. Nothing on radar like we talked about. And another drop comes here.
Big drop on my scorebook over here.
So now it's starting to pick up here at Veterans Field as fans will start moving to grab their jackets in a little bit. As Lipsy swings and misses at the first pitch. He sees 0-1 with bases loaded from Trey Gibson. 0-1. Gibson toes the rubber and deals. Pitch misses off the plate, 1-1.
How big has Trey Lipsy been on the bottom side of this lineup? Been such a huge role in flipping the order and allowing guys with runners on for that top of the lineup.
1-1, runner set in motion. Taylor had a great jump, but it's fouled away by Lipsy. 1-2 here at Veterans Field. As fans start to move to their areas to try and get covered here. Rain still consistently falling, nothing crazy yet. So we're in the top half of the 7th still with Gibson out. A 1-2 delivery to the Ohio State Buckeye. Gets through and behind. the home plate umpire, Apadar. Moving will be Taylor and Gazdar, respectively. Rain continuing to pick up here with Gibson taking his time on the rubber. 2 in scoring position for Lipsy. The 2-2. Lipsy lining it down into center field. Taylor will come around to score. Gazdar will come up standing. It's a big 2 RBI single for Trey Lipsy to add on here to a 5-run top of the 7th for the Harbor Hawks, now leading 9-3.
Yeah, Trey Lipsy making it look easy. Such a big role. We've seen him with guys on or being the guy on for the top of the lineup. He's seen him do it all, and this guy has just been swinging the bat so well lately in that 9-hole, and now we have a chance to flip the order here with 2 outs.
That is how you make the most of runners on as well. Taking advantage of the pass ball too. Now 9-3, huge at bat there for Trey Lipsy. Really stretches this inning as well as the lead out. Lipsy's been hot, as have the Hawks themselves. He's been epitomizing that.
0-0 pitch to Earhart. Misses low on the Oklahoma State Cowboy. 1-0. Lipsy stands on first base. Have to imagine he could get the green light to try and be in motion here. The 1-0 inside again from Gibson. Now 2-0.
Yeah, would not be surprised at all if he does get the green light. Although they have built a substantial lead here, Gibson is a higher leg kick guy, and with Lipsy, who has a good amount of speed over there, would not be surprised if he tries to get a good jump here.
2-0 from Gibson. Pitch misses away. 3-0. Gibson struggling for command to try and get to the zone with 2 retired. The 3-0. Pitch misses low. Earhart works the 4-pitch walk. Now 2 on here in the top of the 7th with already 5 to come across for the Hawks. And we talk about it's a Luke Combs offense. When it rains, it pours. Literally and figuratively here at Veterans Field with the rain starting to come down. With Lipsy in scoring position, Earhart at first base. Gibson, first pitch in to Mitchell. Mitch is outside 1-0. Breaking ball. Outside now, 6 straight balls from Gibson into Harbor Hawk batters.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to pitch Mitchell careful as well. Still throwing off-speed pitch, just missed low in the zone.
2-0 is flown into shallow left center field over his shoulder. A great play by Forsythe to get the grab. It's a 5-run top of the 7th for the Harbor Hawks. We go and stretch it out here at Veterans Field.
Diet Coke? Were you my mom?
You should be so lucky. Because you know what moms do? Well, I suppose we should start with the whole giving you life thing. It seems like that should be enough. No? Okay. What about her ability to send shockwaves through the neighborhood without saying a word? Or whip up a ridiculous handmade costume that you forgot to tell her about? Not to make you happy, but because she had a reputation to uphold. She invented rideshare, called it carpool, and did it for free. She didn't need those dating apps either. You copied her jeans, her spin, her shoes, her scrunchie, and whether you realize it or not, her music.
Why not?
Oh, and she can win any argument in 4 words.
Because I said so.
Everything you're trying to do, she's already done it, did it better, and she did it with a Diet Coke in her hand. So, drink what your mama gave you.
Retirement strategies come in all shapes and sizes. One strategy does not fit all when it comes to reaching your retirement goals. And considering all your options may be, well, more than you want to think about. So whether you're looking to retire or already living in retirement, you need a strategy tailor-made for you.
Fairway Financial can create a personal retirement strategy just for you, designed to take care of you and your loved ones. Call us today at 508-398-3337.
It's a new pitcher out for the Harbor Hawks in Tyler Roby out of Texas State and the Bobcats, making his second appearance for the Harbor Hawks this year. And we're going to give credit to our entire production team today. We're down 2 guys tonight. It's us 3 and our producer Grant McNew and Mike Maynard, who just put up our pop-up tent in about 5 seconds. We always make the call before the game whether or not we need to put it up, and no one saw anything on radar today. There was nothing, and normally we're very solid about it. But here, since we're down right in the fans, we normally elect to, if it's clear, we don't want to have the pop-up because it sticks out and takes away people's seating. But with the rain starting to come in, got to get it overhead, get us overhead. Quick pop-up. I think that was a 1-minute split.
Oh, record time from us.
22 seconds.
22 seconds.
As it is a clock started and stopped.
Unofficial time.
Unofficial.
We'll get you the official time here in a minute.
We'll have to check with Rolex. Roby's in to take on Kent, the 2-hole hitter for the Anglers. He looks at the first pitch. He sees 1-0. 1-0. Outside, they'll look for the appeal to Drew Hoagland. Say he did not go around. 2-0 now. Fastball upstairs at 91 miles an hour from Roby. Gets a swing and miss from Kent. Two-one kick and fired. Chopped foul by just out of the reach of the Harbor Hawks dugout. 2-2.
And it looks like this rain is clearing up, whatever that was.
Of course it is.
I mean, I'm not really sure what just happened, guys, to be honest.
Nonetheless, we are covered if it comes in any more full force. 2-2 delivery. Pitch upstairs, just out of the glove of Donay. It trickles back to the backstop.
Yeah, never a normal weather day in Chatham, it seems.
When in doubt, whenever we've come here, it's always been something. Payoff pitch to come from Roby is stroked into right field, but curves foul. We'll do it again full.
It's a long foul ball right there. Kent went out and got it, caught that fastball out in front, just hooked it foul. Went about 2 feet right of the foul line right there, just hooked foul. Harbor Hawks catch a break from a double right there.
With Kent's speed as well, it could have even been pushed to a triple. You have to imagine with Taylor's speed, he would have made it as close to a double as he could have liked. The payoff pitch is pulled foul in the other direction, up over by the maple tree of the Chatham Anglers bullpen. Second payoff pitch to come from Roby. Fouled away. Let's keeping the at-bat alive.
Very good AB here from Kent. Roby really working fastball sliders here, and Kent just seems to be fighting off everything, just using his hands, not trying to necessarily put the ball in play even, just using his hands, slapping it foul, just to get himself another, hopefully a hitter's pitch.
Payoff pitch, 9th pitch of the at-bat to come from Roby to Kent. Breaking ball, it's a swing and a miss. Running on the drop, third strike is Kent. But it'll be a strikeout 2-3 to retire Roby's first batter of the bottom of the 7th.
Great work to bear down, and that's a payoff pitch to easily ball 4. That catches some dirt as well. And he knows that Kent has to be swinging to protect it, anything close there. So that's got to be a real, real good pitch, at least starting out there from Roby. So really good work to stay locked in and bear down.
Now Roby will see Lane Forsythe. 0-0 pitch is lined right back up the middle, hitting infield dirt before trickling into center field. Forsythe the board with the single.
Yeah, Forsythe not wasting much time right there. Took that fastball right back where it came from, hits it, smokes it right up the middle. Very good base hit there to get the Anglers a man on base.
Now Nolan Schubert, the left fielder, settles into the lefty's batter's box for the lefty on righty matchup with one aboard in Forsythe and one away. Pitch skipping off of Donay's ankle guard. Making the move on the wild pitch is Forsythe into scoring territory. Roby takes the time to collect the signs. The 1-0. Pitch misses just outside of the zone. 2-0.
Chatham fans sticking around, though. A lot of fans may have started getting up, but after the rain or whatever just occurred, they all came back here. The stands are still packed. And they're making some noise here, so the chattering is coming on a little bit.
2-0 from Roby. Misses off the plate and outside. 3-0 at a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. Younger fans here are the Anglers, making sure they're making their attendance known. Still got a couple more weeks of summer left. Last week of July. The 3-0 misses upstairs. Schubert walks. Now 2 on for the Anglers. Here in the home half of the 7th. I'll bring up Zach McDonald, the right fielder.
McDonald already has a hit on the day so far. Trying to find a way to scrap 2 here and get Chatham back in this game.
0-0 pitch. Clips the outer part of the zone. 0-1.
You could even pitch to contact here if you're Roby. You're gassing guys up, and you've also got a good off-speed working as well. So that could elicit a ground ball you need to get out of this inning.
0-1. Pitch in for a strike. High and down the heart of the plate. 0-2.
Yeah, I like to see Roby go right after these hitters. You have a good lead in 6 runs. Go right after these hitters and make them beat you. No free passes. Keep your pitch count low and go right at them.
Harbor Hawks leading 9-3. The 0-2. 79-mile-an-hour breaking ball gets away from Donay again. And now that eliminates the double play with Forsythe on the wild pitch moving to third and Schubert moving to second. 1-2. 1 retired here.
Yeah, it's a big advancement, though. Now base hit scores 2. Got 2 ducks on the pond here for McDonald.
1-2 kick and fire upstairs, tying the count at 2 apiece.
You do have a base open on first, so wouldn't be surprised if he can flip an off speed if he wants, if he feels comfortable. Try to keep him off balance. Don't feed him anything.
2-2. Fouled back. Donald continuing to be Chatham batters that are stringing together great 8Bs right now.
Yeah, worked a couple long ABs, making the Hyannis pitchers work, getting to deep counts, fouling a lot of good pitches off.
The 2-2. Fastball gassed him at 86 on the lower part of the zone. It's a swing and a miss from McDonald. 2 retired.
big strikeout there. Now you don't have to rely on the ground out, a pretty big strikeout to get him back to 2. And now with runners on second and third, you don't need to try and give up a run. Even though you've got that deficit, everybody can still stay relaxed knowing that one ground ball ends this inning scot-free.
Mason Donahue, chopper, back up to Snow. Firing over to Ike for the 4-3 putout. Stranding Forsythe and Schubert at third and second. Harbor Hawks leading 9-3 after 7.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell Mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about it. Tell Mama.
Harbor Hawks leading 9-3 on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network. So happy to have you with us. Harbor Hawks holding on to a 6-run lead as we go into the 8th. But now it's perfect time here to take a look at what's else happened around the league with a little bit of a later start. You have a couple more finals in the book. Let's take a look at what else is going around the league. Do you have one?
Yeah, we'll take a look at some of the finals here. Falmouth and Brewster, that game is final. Falmouth won that game 8-3. And then we move on over to Cotuit and YD, two teams who have already clinched. So nothing too much there going on there, but Cotuit took the victory 10-3 in that game. And
First pitch to Cam Smith. Hits the zone 0-1. So kick and fire into the outer part of the zone against Smith again.
And then the last final so far is Wareham and Orleans. Orleans taking that game 10-6.
1-1 from Gibson to Smith. Is grounded over to Kent. Up with it on 2 hops and fires in time to Donahue for the 5-3 putout.
The last one we need to take a look at that's about to be all wrapped up here is in the bottom of the 9th is Bourne Braves versus the Harwich Mariners. And so far, Bourne Braves are up in that game 7-5 right here.
Thanks so much for the out-of-town scoreboard in between pitches of the Cam Smith at-bat.
Outside of Wareham, seeming like a pretty successful day for the West, so it makes it even bigger that Hyannis is winning this to keep up with everybody else.
0-0 pitch, slow roller. If he gets through the glove of Kent, the third baseman who came over, called off Forsythe, and it went right under the alligator. He didn't close the mouth, and able to advance is Ike to first base.
Yeah, try to shuffle, make that play on his glove side, and just, like you said, I like that. Just didn't close the alligator, or close the mouth, or whatever you just said right there. Clever wording, I like that one.
My dad, Mark Irons, taught me that one in T-ball. Got to close the alligator. Got to close the alligator, make sure the hand comes in, make sure you close the alligator, pick it up, and then throw.
Fundamentals.
Fundamentals.
Gotta stick to the fundamentals.
Fundies.
Fundies, baby.
0-0 pitch comes to Will Taylor. He chops that one off to Forsythe. Underhand throw to second. To Fabian. In time as he throws to Donahue for another double play. It's their 30th of the season. Chatham works out of the jam.
There's your fundies right there.
Fundamentals at show as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
Hey, Mama, what's up?
Did you switch my service from Verizon to T-Mobile?
Yep. T-Mobile has the only nationwide 5G.
Well, Mr. Know-It-All, let's see if you right about that.
Mama. Hey, Mama, I'm working.
It works at the pie shop.
T-Mobile's 5G works inside and out. Hey, what you need, Mama? I'm trying to watch the game with my boys.
It works in the park.
Oh, okay. Mama?
It works at the aquarium, in the parking garage, at the beach, in the elevator. It works in the movie theater, too. Oh, shush yourself. I'm talking to my baby.
You're driving me crazy.
I was just calling you to say thank you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. Yes, Mama.
It works in the kitchen.
Tell mama.
Mama?
5G, it works in the club.
Who are you in a club with?
All about. Tell mama.
Welcome back to Veterans Field. 9-3, Harbor Hawks leading over the Chatham Anglers here on the Tuesday night in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Alongside Micah Kirsting, Nico Sharp, I'm Jacob Irons. Bria Losick patrolling the dugouts for us on the sidelines. Guys, Harbor Hawks trying to get this one packed up pretty quickly. They've got an 11 a.m. first pitch tomorrow in Hartford, Connecticut, playing at Dunkin' Donuts Park. So try and get this one, get into your beds, and then be up early. Talking to Trey Lipsy today, he thinks it's going to be a 6 a.m. bus departure from McKeon Park. Taking a coach bus, no worries. They don't have to go on the yellow limousine by any means. But it's going to be a little bit of a long couple 2 days. They do have an off day, which is nice, on Thursday, so you're able to recover. But quicker start tomorrow that they're going to have to get up and ready for.
Yeah, no doubt. It is going to be a later night tonight with a 7 o'clock start time. But, even though with the 11 a.m. and 6 o'clock leave, not a hard game to get up for when you're playing at Dunkin' Donuts Park. That's a beautiful stadium. I know the guys are excited, and talking to them, this is kind of a game that they've had highlighted just to be there and be in that environment and be in that kind of stadium. I know they're really excited about it. So if there's any game that's going to be early in the morning, have a short night, it's got to be that game. Those guys are super excited to play in that stadium, and I can't wait. I personally can't wait to see them play and be in that environment as well.
It's a very cool environment. I've had multiple games there through my time of watching minor league baseball. I love Dunkin' Donuts Park. 0-0 pitch. Squatted and looked at by Melendez. As the 1-0 delivers. Upstairs, 1-1 for a new pitcher in Joe Glassy. 1-1. Pitch misses away. Glassy out of the University of Illinois, getting his first appearance of the summer for the Harbor Hawks. Two-1. Popped up into foul territory. Smith positions under it, taking 3 steps away from the chalk. He gets the first out here in the home half of the 8th.
Love seeing some of the newer guys come into these games and start getting some innings in. Our bullpen has been such a stature in our game all year round. It's been something that we've really focused on. Is when we're up late in games, we feel like we're going to stay ahead and usually going to close it out.
Yeah, it's very low leverage. Got a 6-run lead here. Why not get Glassy out there? This is a very low leverage spot.
The foul tipped back by Brennan Holt.
Yeah, very little to lose here, so get Glassy out there, get him warm. Could even throw another inning just to save a second arm for tomorrow.
0-1 from Glassy as he kicks and fires. Fastball at 92 miles an hour. For strike, 0-2.
Yeah, fastball up in the zone, just couldn't get the bat head around it. 92 upstairs, that's a tough pitch to get your hands on top of.
0-2. 92 again. This time trying to rise the eye level of it, 1-2.
Now do we think he's going to drop it with some off speed here?
You tell me, buddy. This is your area of expertise.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he drops it back a little bit. Also, he could raise the fastball again.
1-2, drops it at 86 on the breaking ball. 2-2 count.
Yeah, he did back it up right there, Not surprised after elevating that fastball. He had a good take right there. Drops a slider and another good take to even the count back up.
2-2. Pitch that runs inside at 92 miles an hour. Forces Holt to dance out of the way. Full count.
Very good job by Holt to get back in this AB. You know, gets behind early, has a few tough takes up in the zone, down the zone, working really hard to strike him out, but good takes to get himself back into a full count.
Full count. Pitch misses inside, another fastball that allows Holt to walk. He gets aboard.
Yeah, finding ways on late in the game, you know, you never know. We talked about Chatham's statistics late in the game when down, but, you know, you got to find ways on and to be able to manufacture runs late in the game. That's going to be the name of the game so far.
Yeah, still 5 outs to work with here. Can't take anything for granted if you're Hyannis here. Got to still sit down every single batter. Any given night, anything can happen.
First pitch in for strike against Fabian. 0-1 with a runner on first in Holt. Pitch from Glassy. Outer part of the plate on a fastball. 1-1. One delivery from Glassy. It'll be a snap throw back down. It's high. Unable to apply the tag is Ike. Coming in sliding back is Holt to first. It's a strike against Fabian as he swung around and missed. 1-2.
Yeah, Holt is taking a pretty hefty lead over that first, and an even harder secondary, so I'm not surprised that Donay threw over.
1-2. Donay up with it again. This time checks back the throw, tying the count at 2 apiece.
Yeah, scary arm to test as well. Got a legit 80-grade arm behind the plate in Brody Donay. So he slaps one on the correct side of the glove for Ike. With the lead that he's getting, that Holt is getting, got to scamper back in time.
2-2. Swing and a miss by Fabian. He goes down swinging. 2 retired here in the bottom of the 8th.
I love the way Glassy's been attacking his hitters so far. You know, even though he got ahead in that count, did end up giving up a walk, but love the way he's attacking his hitters early and making them fall back into counts to allow him to hit the pitches he wants to throw.
Glassy will now face off against Martin Grudzelanek for the first time today and be his 5th plate appearance of the day. 0-0 pitch to Martin Grudzelanek. Donay up with it quickly. Once again, checks back his throw before trying to get down.
Donay's keeping a close eye on Holt there. That's the 3rd time. One time he threw over him, then twice he's caught the ball, picked his legs up, ready to throw over.
The 1-0. Misses low and away. 2-0. Glassy will now check back. Great pickoff attempt, but getting his fingertips into first base is Holt. Great placement of the throw by Glassy into Ike, right where you got to tag him. 2-0. Off the plate, now 3-0. Glassy's been struggling to find the zone here a little bit.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, it's almost like, I don't know if we're paying too much attention for the run on first, but he's peeking over a lot. He's holding, changing his looks, and in a game like this, you kind of just want to go right at the hitter.
They're going to check back to him again. Keeping a very close eye on Holt, gets back safely again.
But I'll tell you what, Holt's doing his job here, striding it out, taking 2-3 steps, and then he just took 3 more shuffles, taking a huge lead on first.
3-0. Fastball at 92 down the heart of the plate.
Taking a huge lead, even bigger secondary, but the main thing here is he's working really hard back to first base. Understanding to know will snap throw it right behind him, so working really hard back to first base.
3-1. Popped up into shallow right field. Dropping back will be Snow to make the grab to end the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th. Harbor Hawks leading by 6, 9-3.
We all have obstacles, challenges at different points in life. I still push myself every single day, and the harder I push myself, the more I find myself drawn to wearing UFOs. The first time I put on a pair of UFOs, it was like someone released the pressure It was so crazy. When you are recovered and can do more, that has a compounding effect on all aspects of your life. Stepping into a pair of UFOs, they're truly one of a kind. There's nothing like them.
Best ever? Good question. Wait, why do you sound like Dr. J in your head? I've always sounded like Dr. J in my head, which means Dr. J's outside voice sounds like
my inside voice?
Which Coke? The doc would know. He got the world to call him doctor without going to med school. There's only one best ever.
Push on to the ninth inning here at Veterans Field. Harbor Hawks possessing a 9-3 lead. Thank you so much for having us with us, maybe wherever you're finding us. Thanks so much for joining us. Coming down to the latter part of the season here. Last week of July, it's hard to even imagine that when you flip over, playoff games are only a week away when you start talking about Friday of next week.
Yeah, it's scary how fast this summer is flying by, and these games are just. And now that we're in these later back third of the season, every game just has so much meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And finding these wins, and also the run differential, we've spoke about it a little bit there, and how important that is.
First pitch to Gazdar, misses outside 1-0. It's huge if you're able to try and hold on to standings, but then also if you're able to get a really good run differential, as Gazdar flies the second ball he sees to a hole in center as he positions himself under it for the first out in the top of the ninth.
Yeah, during that 13-game streak where Hyannis went 11-1-1, they had a plus 40 run differential in that span, scoring 90 runs and letting up, compared to that number, only 50. So everything was clicking on both sides of the ball. They got their run differential back up overall.
First pitch to Done is popped up into the Bermuda Triangle in foul territory on the left side of the field. It's a quick play from Kent, who calls off Forsyth to make the grab. Now 2 retired here quickly.
We talk about the standings a little bit and the run differential, but let's talk about the team's last 10 games. We talked about momentum and momentum shift, and we look at the Harbhawks, 8-1-1 in our last 10 games.
0-0 pitch, misses off the plate, 1-0 to Snow.
Yeah, last night was their first loss since July 11th against Cotuit. It's been smooth sailing so far for Hyannis, and I took exception to last night's loss to Falmouth and come back swinging here against Chatham here tonight.
1-0 to Snow. Drops in for strike on the 87-mile-an-hour breaking ball. 1-1.
Yeah, you look at the other teams. It's a lot of 5-5s, 3 6-1s, all across the board. It's all about momentum going to playoffs.
1-1. Drops in for strike on the off-speed pitch at 77 miles an hour, pushing the count to 1-2. Gibson deals the 1-2. Snow flies that one into right center field. McDonald on the tracks, crashes into the wall and makes the grab. A great play by Holt on the track and makes the grab. Harbor Hawks retired in 1-2-3 order. Chatham needs to respond for 6 in the bottom of the ninth here on the Harbor Hawks Baseball Network.
A brilliant idea starts at the source. Through innovative design, we're taking steps to create a better future. Now, the pure fresh taste of Dasani comes in a redesigned bottle, up to 30% made from plants, and as always, it's 100% recyclable. Plant bottle, designed to make a difference.
This BBB seal is a badge of honor. It's a sign that this is a business you can trust.
Hi. Oh, this is amazing.
Each year, millions of people see the BBB seal on a door or a window or a website and breathe a little easier. See the seal and know you've made the right choice. Find a business you can trust. Ask BBB.
William Armstead comes in out of the bullpen to try and shut the door for the Hawks and get themselves back on the bus to McKeon Park with the win as they lead 9-3 right now going into the home half of the ninth. Alongside Mike Kirsting, Nico Sharp, and with Bria Losick down on the sidelines. I'm Jacob Irons, so happy to have you with us here tonight. And Armstead, a really solid pitcher all year long out of the University of Southern Mississippi. This will be his 5th appearance, sports a 7.50 ERA. Has pitched 6 innings, struck out 7, walked 5, given up 6 hits. Very solid pitcher for the Hawks.
Yeah, a guy we've seen a couple good outings out of, looking for him to close the door here, not give up any runs, put up another 0. And a guy who's got a little funky pitching motion. I've always liked watching him pitch, kind of shrinks down a little bit, kind of comes from that sidearm slot. Has a nice little run on his two-seam, obviously with that arm slot and have a lot of run. And it just seems like, he just misses barrels a lot when he's pitching to righties.
Yeah, didn't get an out last time in the tie to Harwich. Allowed 2 runs. He gave the next pitcher after him some runners and now looks up for a bit of a bounce-back outing. He got the win last time out before Harwich against Brewster. And here's his first pitch with some herk and jerk.
First pitch at 85 miles an hour goes to Kent, in on the hands. He swings, grounds it off over to Smith, and fires in time to Ike for the first out here in the home half of the ninth.
Yeah, it's pretty good efficiency right there from Armstead. Goes right after him, gets the out. Lefty hitter puts the ball right in on his hands. Can't get the barrel out front. That's a great pitch, Armstead. 1 for 1.
One pitch, 1 out.
1 for 1. Easy as that.
Bring up Wayne Forsythe. He looks out of pitch upstairs, 1-0. A little bit of the fog haze starting to come over the field. 1-0, drops in for strike, 1-1. Still can very much see the firehouse, but you can see it building off of the shining lights here at Veterans Field. That is pitch black dark. That's beyond the lights. The 1-1 is flown over the netting, up over by the parking lot. And 1-2, the count pushes towards.
Even as we said, 9:37, a lot of kids out here running for those foul balls and pretty aggressive out there.
Hey, it's summer, man. No bedtimes. 1-2, misses upstairs and away. 2-2. Yeah. I know. Our producer Grant McNew, though, he still holds religiously to his bedtime.
8:30, baby girl.
8:30.
So we are officially in the danger zone. We are past Grant McNew's bedtime.
Oh, no.
So, yep, there he is back there doing his little dance move. That's what happens when it's past Grant McNew's bedtime. Not a good look for anybody.
2-2 from Armstead. Misses just outside the zone. Donay comes off with his mask, comes out, gives it a couple more seconds. Full count now.
Yeah, Armstead having a good pitch sequence there, not missing the zone by much in any of these pitches so far as he's worked a 3-2 count.
Payoff pitch. Breaking ball at 86 miles an hour outside the zone. Gets Forsythe swinging and missing, 2 retired. Chatham down to their last out here.
What a pitch. That's that slider that just starts on that outer half and doesn't have any movement until the second half of where the pitch is going. Halfway to that plate is when that breaks off. No chance for Forsythe, and now Chatham down to their last out.
Last out will come from the batter of Nolan Schubert. He flies that one foul up over by the Anglers bullpen, 0-1. Schubert today is 0 for 2 with an intentional walk in the 5th and a walk in the 7th. The 0-1 comes to Schubert. In for a strike on the upper part of the zone. Armstead ahead in the count, 0-2. Armstead shakes off a couple pitches from Donay. He kicks and fires. The 0-2 fouled away back into the netting pole, 0-2.
Armistead trying to sneak that fastball in on the hands. You know, the ice goes slider late in the count, especially in 0-2, but he tried to sneak in that fastball up and in.
0-2, kick, delivery. Flown foul down the left field line and out of play again.
Went fastball again, back in on the hands. You know, you guys think he goes slider here? You think he goes back to the fastball? It's almost 4 straight fastballs for Armistead.
Could see him with the fastball, it's my guess.
0-2, breaking ball at 86, hitting the bottom part of the zone. It's a strikeout looking from Nolan Schubert, and Harbor Hawks walk out victorious, 9-3.
Yeah, that's a great pitch there by Armistead. Comes back with that slider, you know, after throwing so many fastballs in that same tunnel. Puts that slider, probably starts it right up on the other side of the batter's box, catches the corner. Strike number 3. That's a great showing there by Armistead.
Yeah, and a great showing by the team overall. They get punched down by Chatham in that bottom of the 5th, who they take the lead, and then they just punch right back, take a 4-3 lead back, and then they put it out of reach in that 7th. It's just been the story of the season is responding. Respond the Harbor Hawks did, and just after that, of course, they just take it home, smooth sailing, an easy 9-3 win.
Yeah, and it's so important that it's on both sides. Answering on offense, but also answering back on the defensive side. The pitching is locking it down after our offense is able to scrap some runs and put us back on top or tie the game. Our bullpen and our starting pitching even has kept us there, and that's the reason why we're winning these games from behind, is because our bullpen is shutting them down late in the games, putting up the zeros for Harbor Hawks and allowing us to win these games.
It's a big win, getting back into the winning column. They're 9-1-1 over their last couple of games, a very large margin. They get the victory 9-3 here in Veterans Field, Hyannis over Chatham. For Nico Sharp, Michael Kirsting, Bria Losick, Mike Maynard, and Grant McNew, I'm Jacob Irons saying so long. We'll talk soon, though. Only in a couple of hours. We'll see you from Hartford, Connecticut and the Nutmeg State at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
If you live here, fun is your thing. If you live here, tough is your thing. Smart is your thing. Caring is your thing. If you live in Massachusetts, community is your thing. Since 1972, the Massachusetts State Lottery has provided over $25 billion to help cities and towns with the things they need most. If you live here, giving is your thing.
My family earns respect.
My family clears bases.
My family breaks records.
My family wins MVPs.
My family gives everything.
My family makes history. My family wins championships.
There's no family.
There's no family.
There's no family. There's no family like my family. Join the fam.
Join the fam.
Join the fam.
When Alaska Airlines needed a partner for the complex operations of travel, they made the switch to T-Mobile. Our 5G has Alaska Airlines and their customers covered, from major hubs to remote destinations, with 5G coverage ready now for the demands of today and the future. T-Mobile's network powers Alaska Airlines as they deliver next-level care for all customers. 5G ready now. That's how unconventional thinking is better for business.
Coke Zero is now Coke Zero Sugar, with great Coke taste. Some people were excited to hear the news, some were skeptical. So we're not gonna have the star of the show you're watching come out and say, "You'll love it." No special jingle written by this week's hottest pop star. No famous internet celebs who happen to be holding the label just so. Okay, maybe just one little pour shot. The only thing that will make you believe Coke Zero Sugar has great Coke taste is trying it yourself. Ice cold Coke Zero Sugar. Try one today.